It's time for high school football, a Beaver County radio tradition for the last 77 years. 2025 Beaver County radio football coverage is being brought to you by the Lisa and Tank Latham team at eXp Realty, the YMCA, Patriot Home Care, All Access Automotive, Fry Transportation, Vape and Roll With It, Electric Garage Door Sales, Al's Corner, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, McDonald's, Moon Auto, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, CCBC, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, Al's Pizza, Tri-State Sporting Arms, Drug-Free Aliquippa, McGee Heating and Air Conditioning, St. Barnabas, the William Murphy Funeral Home, the Cornerstone of Beaver County, Zookie's Sports Bar, Johnson Heating and Air Conditioning, GNU's Body Works, J. Young Refuse, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home, S.E. Snyder Insurance, D&G Rentals, and Beaver County Radio. 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, 95.7 FM and AM 1460 WMBA, Beaver County Radio Digital Media, and beavercountyradio.com. Now let's head out to the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth for coverage of tonight's game.
Welcome to Heinz Field. We're in Aliquippa. For the Aliquippa Quips host the Montour Spartans, it is playoff action before the regular season even ends. Any doubts about that? Ask Coach Warfield. He's convinced of it. They need wins in order to make sure that they get in. You look at the Parkway Conference, Newcastle, Aliquippa, Montour, West Allegheny, all tied at 2-1. And then you look at the bracket and think about who has the easiest path to be able to get into the playoffs. And you got to think Newcastle does, with Ambridge and Blackhawk as opponents this week and next. And then maybe the hardest route to get into the playoffs could be with Montour. They have Aliquippa tonight and West Allegheny next week. But this matchup tonight is against two powers that if they each bring their best game, we're going to have an amazing night. Mike Azadian with me in the booth.
Yeah, I agree with you on everything you said. And this, in effect, is the winner does not clinch a playoff berth, but the winner likely makes it. The loser, especially if it's Montour, then they're going to have to win next week against West Allegheny. But it's playoff atmosphere. When you only have 8 teams that make the playoffs in 4A and only the top 2 in each conference, you figure that's what's going to be what's going to hold some of these teams back. You're going to see some good teams make it. Mm-hmm. And you're going to see some teams that are good tems that not make it as well.
Let's talk about Montour. We'll start things off with them. And Montour, interesting path to ultimately get to this point with their conference matchups. And then they are leaning really hard on a sophomore quarterback that has had his struggles from time to time, but is coming of his own. I had a chance to talk to Coach Cerro earlier today, and he's happy with the progress that he's making. And in some ways, pleasantly surprised that his Montour Spartans are in a position to be playing for a potential playoff.
They have a really young team. Only a couple of seniors starting on offense, and only about 4 seniors starting on defense. And a couple of those are the same kids. I mean, so they have a lot of younger kids, mainly juniors, playing this year. Lost a lot of seniors from last year's group. Mm-hmm. But Brandon Bennett, watched him in practice, left-hander, throwing the swing pass. He runs to the right on the option. I mean, he does run and pass. And with any young quarterback, you're going to get good and bad. So if he plays well, they play well. This is the kind of game that, your quarterback plays well. And I think you can, once we talk about Aliquippa, we'll find out the same thing. But when that young man's playing well, they're going to be a really tough team to beat.
So far on the season, 73 for 136, 1,199 yards, 11 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions. Anytime you can have a better than a 2-to-1 touchdown-to-interception ratio, you're doing pretty well. Plus, they also really count on him in the running game. 61 rushes, 178 yards, and 3 touchdowns there, too.
Yeah, again, was watching him, and he seems to be a speedster, left-hand quarterback. He wasn't throwing long down the field, and that's one thing that young quarterbacks don't do as well. But, again, double threat, dual threat, where you don't know if he's going to run or pass, that is big when you have a dual threat quarterback, especially at this level.
Caden Halejo, he is the star running back for them, and he's another one upwards of 900 yards, 11 touchdowns. He dominates the running game, and Coach says he just runs hard like he's angry, and we're going to see a lot of him tonight.
He was one of the guys that played quite a bit last year and shared duties last year. This year it's mainly him. He's the main guy. He's a senior. He's the kind of guy that you're going to tuck the ball in and hope that he grinds out some yards. Doesn't get a ton of yards. He's more of a grinded out kind of guy, but that's all you need sometimes. Sustaining drives, getting 3 and 4 and 5 yards at a time. If you can do that against this Aliquippa team, you'll be successful.
One of the big question marks for Montour is going to be this offensive line. They only have 2 returning starters at right tackle and right guard, Abram Kolodinsky and Jacob Halbedel. And other than that, they have a sophomore and 2 juniors that weren't in the starting rotation last year, and they've yet to completely gel together as an offensive line, according to Coach Cerro.
Takes time. Every single coach I've ever talked to always will tell you if they come back with an intact offensive line from the year before, they are just thrilled. And that's what you usually want. But most times than not, you're replacing 1 or 2. But when you have a lot of young guys and a young quarterback and only the senior running back, that could spell trouble. So that's why you've seen Montour. They've beaten the teams they've had to beat, but they've also lost to some teams that they shouldn't have. And it's always kind of a what have you done for me lately type of thing. But this Montour team, despite beating Central Valley early in the year, they've lost to the teams they should have, and they've beaten the teams. They beat Trinity, which is a pretty good 5A team, but they lost to Mars. They lost to Newcastle. So the upper echelon teams they've lost to, the teams below them, so they're kind of in the middle of the pack scratching to try to get up on that upper echelon right now. And if they beat Aliquippa, they should be.
You're listening to the Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show from the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth. We now take it down to the sidelines for the sideline report by Derek Rossiter. He's with the Lisa Latha team, brokered by eXp Realty sideline report. Derek, you had an opportunity to talk to Coach Cerro just a couple of minutes ago. What did he tell you?
Yeah, Coach was asked him how the team was ready for tonight, being a televised game. Asked him how their spirits were going into this week, and he said they know what's on the line. They've worked real hard all week, and they're ready to go. He was pretty quick and adamant about that, but he knows what's on the stake on the line. The kids do, and they're ready to play. Also did get a hold of Coach Warfield as well. Asked him real quickly about the adjustment at quarterback and how the team was supporting the role, and they all said they've moved past it. They're ready for this game. They know this is a big game. And they, again, same thing. They know it's on the line for this game, so they're ready to go. And
we'll talk about the Aliquippa side of things coming up in just a couple of moments. We'll also take a look at the latest in the updates from the matchups from the Fry Transportation Update Desk and get some pregame picks to be looking out for the CCBC player of the game, plus a whole lot more on the Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show on Beaver County Radio.
In Beaver County, there are many great stories to tell. One such worthy story is that of the Drug-Free Aliquippa program. Now in its 4th year, the project has enjoyed great success through in-school interaction, education, raising awareness, and data analysis. Drug-Free Aliquippa has a mission to help local youth make better decisions regarding alcohol and drug use. For more information or to find out how you can get involved, visit Drug-Free Aliquippa on Facebook.
Lincoln Park Performing Arts Center in Midland opens its 2025-2026 season with the award-winning comedy classic Guys and Dolls, October 3rd through the 12th, sponsored by Clearview Federal Credit Union. For tickets, visit lincolnparkarts.org.
Got kids? Too much to do? No time to cook? Download the McDonald's app today and get dinner delivered straight to your door from DoorDash. McDonald's makes it easy for you and your family. Download the app today and get exclusive deals and rewards. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
What if you could meet the future you? The one with the degree, the dream job, the confidence. This fall at Community College of Beaver County, step up to the mirror and see what's possible. Whether you're fresh out of high school, changing careers, or returning to finish what you started, every class and campus experience brings you closer to who you're meant to be. See your future. Start it here at CCBC. Visit ccbc.edu/fall25.
A lot has changed since 1885. That's when my great-grandfather, William Andrew Hartzell, opened the doors to our family-owned and operated funeral home. This is William F. Rick Murphy from the William Murphy Funeral Home Incorporated in Rochester. Together with my son, Brian C. Murphy, we represent a business that is now flourishing into its 5th generation. Throughout that time, we've had the pleasure of experiencing many of local memories that have made Rochester and the surrounding area so great. I'll bet many of you can easily recall the H.C. Fry Glassworks, Barnett's Bootery, or even Kaufman's Department Store with its massive double-decker parking lot.
To put things in perspective, my family was already serving others at their time of need before the automobile had even been invented and the aforementioned businesses started and ended. Our commitment to serve our community with dignity and compassion has allowed the William Murphy Funeral Home, Inc. to preserve a business legacy that spans nearly 140 years, and we're still here. To contact us, visit our website at William Murphy Funeral Home, Inc. or call 724-775-0309.
It's now time to check in with Joe from Boom Pow DIY Solar. He's going to be giving us live updates and scores from the Hopewell at Central Valley game this evening. You can find out more about Joe by going to boompowsolar.net. Joe, what do you have?
Welcome, Friday Night Light fans, to Hopewell Tony Dorsett Stadium for homecoming. Thanks, Mike and Mangino. Another beautiful night for high school football, where the Hopewell Vikings take on the rivals from Central Valley. It's a battle of the 3A conference. The Vikings are led by head coach Matt Modis. Vikings are 6-2 overall, 2-2 in the conference, playing against Central Valley Warriors, led by veteran coach Mark Lyons. They are 4-4 overall and 4-1 in the conference, and in second place in the conference. Now, this should be a battle up front tonight. Here's some stats for you. The Trey Cameron averages 55 yards a game receiving, with Avery Bokar and Logan Trisilla averaging around 45 yards receiving. Nashor Wade, running back, averages 110 yards a game. He has 12 touchdowns. James Armstrong is the star for the Vikings, 140.5 quarterback rating, unbelievable, 30 total touchdowns. The defense is led by Arias Haniotis, 8 sacks. Justin Oberdell averages 8.4 tackles a game. Now, Central Valley Warriors are led by Aaron Lawson, 63.5 yards a game receiving. Ethan Sharon averages 102 on the ground. Ethan Sharon also is a beast on defense, 9 tackles a game. Brendan Alexander and Lucas Jorvac have 5 sacks each. Ethan Sharon also has 12 touchdowns. The quarterback for the Warriors is junior Braddock Ambrose, holding the team together. Now look for a huge battle tonight between these two teams that are very familiar with each other. Now remember, I'm Boom Pow DIY Solar. I'm A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. I'm saving homeowners a fortune on their electricity bill. And you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Give me a call at 844-BOOM-POW. I am the superhero of energy savings. I'm offering solar in PA, Ohio, and West Virginia with 0 out-of-pocket. Hey, back to Mike and Mangino.
Thank you very much, Joe. And looking at this matchup with Central Valley and with Hopewell, how about this? Hopewell hasn't beat Central Valley going all the way back to 2010. That's the merger time, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, and they have never beaten them. And Hopewell has been not very good in the last 15 years, and Central Valley's been really good. So now Hopewell's starting to get better. We'll see if they can bring home a winner tonight. And it should be an exciting time for the Hopewell Vikings.
Looking forward to getting updates and scores all night long out of Hopewell. Let's talk about Aliquippa and an interesting year for Aliquippa. They are so used to winning and winning big that when you see a couple little hiccups, close games, coming from behind to get the victories, and 2 losses in one season, this is something that Aliquippa fans just aren't really familiar with. But I was talking to Coach Warfield earlier, and he said, listen, we have the guys that we have. We don't have a Power 4 running back. But we have guys who are really good. They're committed to playing football. And everybody else is getting better, too.
Yes.
And this is the 4A. This is the Parkway. this is what you can expect. And he brings up a really good point. Nobody thought Newcastle was going to be this strong this year. They're really turning the program around. Montour was thinking they were going to have a little bit of a year that is maybe a half a step back from last year, but they're really showing themselves. Mars is getting better. I mean, in fact, the big powerhouses, Mike, throughout the 4A, including Thomas Jefferson,
are down.
They're all realizing that these other schools are a whole lot better than they were before.
So all of 4A is kind of, the Thomas Jefferson and Aliquippas have come down a little bit. Some of the other teams, the Trinities and others, have come up a little bit. And now you have about 10 or 12 teams that are all within a game or so of each other that are partly, they can beat each other at any time. And in addition, we're in the second year of you play similar teams out of conference. So Aliquippa, instead of playing teams that you're beating by 50, which a lot of people prefer, they're playing Mars. They're playing Penn Hills. They're playing other teams, and it's closer games. So, yeah, they're not winning by 30 or 40, but they're still winning. Yeah, they've lost a couple tough games. They lost to Avonworth, who hasn't.
But
and,
the number one team in the state, at least number two.
Exactly. And my argument and yours, I think they're as good as any team in 4A and 3A. So I think they're the heavy favorite to win the state title this year. But forget about that. We have a moment of silence. I want to quit talking.
Say it again?
There's a moment of silence for a young Aliquippa man.
Thank you.
Yeah, there was a young Aliquippa man just passed away. They released a balloon for him, and I just happened to catch that, so I wanted to be quiet while we talked. But, yeah, when you're Aliquippa, everybody expects you to win. But there's been other years that they haven't won as well and haven't won big. But he's right. They don't have that bell cow back. They have a handful of guys that will run the ball. They've got a quarterback now that's injured, so they're going with what they have, exactly.
So let's talk about the offense. So out is Marquise Council.
Yes.
Knee injury. He's done for the season. He's the Yale commit that isn't able to come back and play. They've been trying to adjust with this. They were hoping they were going to get him back as late as last Thursday going into the game last week, and then realized that was just not going to happen. And so now it's quarterback by committee. Khalil Good is scheduled as a starter, but they're also going to play Ray Miller a lot. And according to Coach, the reason why they're going to do this is because Khalil Good is just so good on the outside that they want to be able to get him the ball out in space or bring Ray Miller in and maybe for opportunities to be able to throw the ball back to Khalil Good. Josh Lay has also been really good out of the wide receiver position for Aliquippa. It'll be interesting to see how well they're able to play two different quarterbacks. Typically, that does not work out well.
Right. But
something tells me with Coach Warfield and this entire coaching staff, they'll figure out a way how to make it work.
And it also depends on how good is your running game going to be. What's Cleaster Longmire going to do? What is Joseph Work going to do? What's Cameron Cannon going to do? What's Avery Coleman going to do? All guys that have carried the ball this year, but nobody's really grabbed that starter position. You mentioned Ray Miller. He's a wide receiver, as is Khalil Good, but they've been forced into the quarterback position because they really don't have a true backup due to the fact that the next guy supposedly in line is Dante Brown. He's only a freshman. He's not quite what Marcus Council was as a freshman, who could have been a quarterback as a freshman but wasn't because he was behind Quentin Good. But there's a lot of question marks, but they still are a good team. They're still a very good defensive team. It's still mighty tough to win here, and Montour's got its work cut out for him.
Here's what they have. They have a very experienced senior-laden offensive line.
Yes.
Jaden Brown, the junior. Miles Green is a senior. Kingston Wilcox is a senior. Eric Raspberry, the junior. And Justin Starks, the senior. They know what it means to be able to block. They blocked for Tyke Hayes last year for the past couple of years. And so they get it. If they can control the line of scrimmage and give whoever's in the quarterback position some time and open up some holes, it could be a long night for Montour.
Almost every single game we have done this year has depended on two things. Who's the better line and turnovers. And last week we saw Beaver Falls just eventually wear New Brighton down. A decent New Brighton team that still has a chance for the playoffs, but the Beaver Falls line was better. And it should be the same. The better line usually wins games as long as you don't turn the ball over 2, 3, and 4 times. Now, against Avonworth, Aliquippa's line held their own here, but they turned the ball over 3 times.
Khalil Good. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Khalil Good all over the place. Offense, he's their star guy on offense. On defense, he's number 3 in the team in tackles, has a tackle for loss, 3 interceptions, and a fumble recovery. Plus, I believe he's even the long snapper for them. So he is so important to them. If it's about touching the ball, it's about Khalil Good.
He's a very good athlete. He's been playing since he's been a freshman, 3 interceptions as a DB in a state championship game as a freshman. I mean, this kid's a good basketball player, good athlete. He's a good leader, too. One thing that their ex-basketball coach, Nick Lakovich, told me is I don't even have to say anything to other kids because he's the guy that holds other kids responsible. And when one of your leaders is also one of your best players, that helps Aliquippa out completely.
You're listening to the Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show from the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth. We'll take a look at some matchups around Beaver County and also some pregame picks for the CCBC player of the game for each team. That's coming up next on Beaver County Radio.
Summer's winding down, but the deals at Fisher's Foodland will get you wound up. Open 7 days a week, Fisher's Foodland in New Brighton is sure to provide all of your summertime essentials at an affordable price. From specials on produce, dairy, beverages, household products, and more. You won't sweat these prices at Fisher's. Don't want to put a pause on your poolside fun? Order your groceries online at shop.grocerystorenewbrighton.com. Fisher's Foodland in New Brighton, your reliable neighborhood grocery store.
Has your smile recently been intercepted by a bad cavity, stains, or damage that's been driving you crazy? Don't worry. Dr. Timothy Lip in Lip Dentistry is the Hail Mary your teeth have been needing. Located in Beaver Falls and Robinson Township, Lip Dentistry has been a trusted business for families in the greater Pittsburgh area to touch down at for over 2 decades. Make sure to rush over to lipdentistry.com and register for an appointment today and get 25% off your first cleaning. Don't fumble the opportunity to make Lip Dentistry your office of the future and make an appointment today.
When you talk about community involvement and safety, the name Fry stands at the forefront in Beaver County. Fry Transportation's mission is to continue to raise the bar as the gold standard in their industry by providing the safest, most reliable, and cost-efficient transportation service in Beaver County through their strong relationships with their community's best-in-their-class drivers, equipment, and technology. There's nothing more important than the safety of their students, employees, and community members. Fry Transportation, where the quality of their organization is characterized by the makeup of the individual behind the wheel.
Hello, this is Alan Bross, General Manager at Moon Township Ford. Just like a good football team is trained to win, our goal is to win you over with our own team of experienced professionals equipped with what it takes to make your dreams of a new car come true. So if you haven't visited us for a while, come over and see what we have to offer. Or visit our exciting selection of cars and trucks online. Find out why people keep running back to Moon Township Ford. Belconi's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Welcome back to the Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show. I'm Mangino, Mike Azadian with me in the booth, Derek Rossiter on the sidelines, and we're going to take a look at pregame picks for potential CCBC player of the game candidates. Derek, we'll start with you. First, we'll go with Montour and then come back to Aliquippa. Give me a player on each side that you will be paying attention to tonight and you think could win those awards.
I think on the Montour side, Caden Hallijoe, running back, senior running back. I think he's going to be a good player to watch on the Montour side.
And then on Aliquippa side?
I'm going to go with Khalil Good. I think stepping in for Consul, I think this could be a really good chance for him to stand up and show control of the team and let the other team rally around him. I think that I'm going with Khalil Good.
Those are good choices, Mike.
You know, I got to go for Montour. I got to go Brandon Bennett. I mean, you know, he has to be able to pass the ball, and he's got to be able to switch up and run. If he plays well, they play well. If he doesn't play well, they're going to have a tough time. And on the Aliquippa side, I'm going to go with Joseph Work. He's the most experienced of the three-headed running back of the, 4 guys they usually use. Mm-hmm. He's not played as many games as some of the other kids. He's missed some games, but from people that in the know have told me he's had some good games recently. He's a 185-pound senior, and and if he can ground out some yardage and kill some clock, maybe get a couple touchdowns, he would be my early candidate for player of the game.
All right, on the Aliquippa side, I like Akiva Woods. Akiva Woods is one of the leaders in the team in tackles from the safety position, and he's also the second leading rusher for Aliquippa. And so depending upon how things break down, I can see him having a really big game tonight. And on the Montour side of things, I got to go with Caden Halajo too, because it is so important. If he's able to control the ball, he's able to run the ball effectively, then what you want to see Brandon do, he's going to be able to. So those are my picks for the potential CCBC player of the game. We'll take a quick little pause here for 60 seconds. We'll come back and we'll take a look at matchups around the Beaver County area coming up next on Beaver County Radio.
Al's Corner is not just for gas. That's right. They offer gas, of course, but also fresh food and snacks every day. Let Al's do the cooking. They make fresh subs on their homemade bread daily. They offer hot foods like tacos, fish on Friday, plus wraps, salads, and more. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, make a visit to Al's Corner in Coppell. Call Al's today to place your order. Make your football party be the envy of your family and friends. Follow them on Facebook for their daily specials. That's Al's Corner on the corner off Route 18 and 351 in Coppell.
Are you looking for a cigar, tobacco, vape, and roll your own supply store in Beaver County? Visit Vape and Roll With It at 751 Merchant Street, Ambridge to shop for a variety of the best cigars in the walk-in humidor. They also sell vape juice, disposable vapes, glass, and CBD. You can also view several of their in-store promotions by following Vape and Roll With It on Facebook and Instagram. Visit vapeandrollwithit.com for more information. Don't worry about prices or stress, just roll with it. Open 7 days a week on Merchant Street in Ambridge. That's Vape and Roll With It.
Gino, we are back at Heinz Field getting ready for kickoff for Aliquippa and Montour. Kickoff set in about 9 minutes. I'll tell you what, the national anthem is about to play. We'll go ahead and listen to that, and then we'll get into matchups from around the Beaver County area here on Beaver County Radio.
And please remain standing afterwards for the Quip alma mater.
Marching band. All right, let's look at matchups from around the Beaver County area, Mike. We'll start off with Newcastle and Ambridge. They kick off in just a couple of minutes.
Sherman McBride turned his resignation in. He'll be done after next week. He couldn't turn Ambridge around, as a lot of other people couldn't too. That should be an easy one for Newcastle.
Beaver and Quaker Valley, the Bobcats needing a win tonight too.
Love to see my alma mater win, but the Bobcats, they have to have this one if they want to make the playoffs, because they have Avonworth next week. I feel if they win, even if they lose next week, they should be a playoff team.
Beaver Falls looks to keep their perfect season alive in MAC conference play. They have Riverside tonight.
You know, Riverside has been an up-and-down team all year long, and they've struggled and lost big to teams, but then they surprise a few teams as well. Big game for Riverside. Riverside loses, they could be on the outside looking in. Huge game for Riverside. Beaver Falls is already in the playoffs, but they want more than playoffs. They want to get a top 5 seed in the playoffs.
Montour has West Allegheny next week. West Allegheny tonight has Blackhawk at home.
West Allegheny, I'm not saying it's a must-win, but they pretty much have to win this one because they want to make next week's game meaningful. Because if Montour loses this, West Allegheny Montour likely is for a playoff spot next week.
Elwood City, they're a tale of a team that isn't quite sure where they're going. Sometimes they're playing really great. Other times they're struggling. But they get a nice little tune-up as they're getting ready to wrap up the season. They have the Union Scotties.
Yeah, if they beat Union, they'll be in the playoffs. And then what will happen is they're trying for a home playoff game, at least the second seed in the MAC conference.
Let's see, what else do we have here? Freedom and Mohawk, they are playing tonight. They're playing in Mohawk.
Loser out of the playoffs completely. Winner still has a chance to make the playoffs.
Upper St. Clair and Moon, they're playing at Moon. And these two schools trying to keep pace with the leader in their 5A conference.
Which is Bethel Park.
Bethel Park.
Yeah, so... Moon is kind of like a lot of these teams we're covering right now. They've beaten the teams they should beat. They've lost to some other ones. This is a big game for them. They want to also solidify a playoff berth, but they also want to get a home playoff berth as well.
New Brighton, which team will show up? They have Western Beaver. They desperately need a win to keep their playoff hopes alive.
They lose, then I'm not saying they're out completely, depending on next week and who else wins and loses this week. But, boy, they could really use a surprise. And they feel that they could beat Western Beaver. We'll find out.
How about this matchup? To win the conference, or at least be able to share, to have the lead going into the final week of the season for the conference, Southside is going up to Laurel in 1A, and what a great matchup that's going to be.
Southside beat Neshannock last week rather easily. The winner of that will win the conference, and a lot of people feel, and I feel this way too, and we maybe give them a little short shrift. They might be the best bet for us to have somebody down in Hinesfield because we're not sure about Aliquippa. We're not sure about Beaver Falls, Western Beaver. We're not sure about Central Valley, all those teams because of circumstances. But Southside, they win this and win the conference. They have a legit claim to be the 1 or 2 seed in 1A. Definitely the best in the Big 7 conference.
We are just about 3 minutes away from kickoff. They're going with a 7:05 kickoff tonight. We'll come back with that kickoff next as we wrap up the Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show from the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth on Beaver County Radio.
Tri-State Sporting Arms on Main Street in New Brighton is now open. Stop in and explore their extensive selection of high-quality firearms, pistols, and accessories. Tri-State Sporting Arms also pays top dollar for used firearms. Their experienced and highly trained staff is here to assist you in selecting the right firearm for you. Stop on down to Beaver County's newest firearms store, Tri-State Sporting Arms, at 807 3rd Avenue, New Brighton, or check them out on Facebook.
This is Cindy Hiladio for Friendly Federal Credit Union with a sizzling update. Hot weather can be uncomfortable, especially when your air conditioning needs fixed. Hot deals, well, that's a different story, right? Friendly Federal Credit Union is offering hot deals on home equity loans. Now, about that air conditioning, beat the heat and get the money to fix the thing with a hot deal home equity loan at Friendly Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Yep.
2 minutes to kick off here in Aliquippa. It is senior night, and the seniors are running out on the field with the cheerleaders, all of them getting their announcement, their time in the sun, in the spotlight. What do you think has to happen for Montour to come out victorious?
They have to at least be even on the offensive and defensive lines. They can't get outworked there. They've got to give their running backs time. They've got to control the ball, and they've got to play good defense. You can't come in here and make mistakes against Aliquippa because they'll make you pay.
Aliquippa, for them to walk out with a win and cement themselves in a position for the playoffs?
Well, one thing they've done against good teams is they've turned the ball over and played really good defense as well. If they don't turn the ball over and play good defense, I think they come away victorious because they've not scored a ton of points against good teams. So if they can score 20, 21, 25 points, they play good defense, they should be victorious because they've held Mars and other teams to low point totals. I think if they do the same here tonight and don't turn the ball over, they win.
You know, that's very interesting to bring up. even though the offense is struggling to put up the points that they are so used to putting up, the defense has been stellar. They're only giving up about 13.5 points a game, where they're putting up 22 on average. On the flip side of things, Montour is scoring 23, but then again, they're scoring 29, but they're giving up 23.
Exactly.
So it looks as though just from that particular perspective, it seems to lean toward Aliquippa's favor
And
tonight.
another thing, too, is this has traditionally always been a tough place to play. Now, it's not been as tough for teams since they turned this and made it a turf field, fixed the scoreboard, fixed the stands. It's not as intimidating. You had the whole other side, which was rickety stands.
Mm-hmm.
Now, teams used to come in here and just – they'd be done before the game even started against Aliquippa. Now, the only thing they haven't changed here is the press box and the clubhouse. So the thing is some teams get intimidated. You got a lot of younger first-time starters for Montour. If Lou and his staff, I know Lou, I know how he coaches. I mean, if he could get these kids fired up and they don't make mistakes and they don't fear Aliquippa, then they can compete with them. That's the big key. They can compete with them because Aliquippa's had their problems. And if Montour plays good defense, we should see how it's going to go. We're anticipating a good one, and I certainly hope we do. We've had a pretty good string of good ones, Robert.
We sure have. I mean, countless going back for all the way to the very beginning practically.
We've only had a couple of games.
Even when we were going through a couple of games where Beaver Falls was struggling to be able to come up with the victories, they were showing themselves improving and gave us great games.
Yeah, like last week against New Brighton. It was close, and it was a good game, but then by the end of the third quarter, you knew Beaver Falls was a better team. Riverside against Freedom, good game early on. Toward the end, you knew Riverside was going to win. Still, we haven't had a blowout running clock. Crazy, but I shouldn't say that. The Central Valley Beaver game was our only real dud, but still saw two teams we wanted to see. So we've picked some good ones along with our partner Frank Sparks have picked some good ones, and still undecided about next week. I think we're going to wait and see what happens tonight, but you never know what we're going to see next week. And one last thing, we got to say hello to somebody down in North Carolina. Might be listening.
You think Tank's listening?
I don't know. He's either listening or he's eating shellfish somewhere, or sushi. I saw him and his wife.
He may be doing both.
Him and his wife posted a thing where him and his son had to have some kind of good sushi, and Tank tried some kind of bark soup or something. I don't know. Tank. He likes to eat. He likes to listen to football.
So Aliquippa won the toss. They have elected to defer.
Smart.
They are going to kick, and they are going to go and defend the Heinz Field side. They're going to go from left to right. Ronaldo Romero, averaging about 38 yards a kickoff, will be handling all the kicking duties for Aliquippa tonight. And he kicks it deep. And picked up at around the 11-yard line, taking up over the sideline, makes the first two men miss, and continues all the way out to about the 38. Nice return from Montour to set up really good field position for their offense.
And something, it was a line drive kick, and he got around the end. The first two guys missed him. So good field position for Montour to start this game.
Xander Stern on the return and really showing himself something. He is typically one that is able to get a nice return for them, averaging about 27.6 yards for the return. So Brandon Bennett is in at quarterback. He's the sophomore. 73 of 136 for just under 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Montour, yellow pants, white shirt, dark numerals, takes a snap, fakes it, calls his own number up over that right side, has a little bit of room, gets a crease, and picks up what looks to be 5. I'm not quite sure if that was a design quarterback draw or if it was a busted play.
I saw them run that a bunch. They ran 3 different plays that I saw exclusively. Swing pass to the left, him gutting over the right side of the center, and him handing the ball to a running back that goes right up the middle. So I think that was designed. I saw them run that simulation a bunch during warm-ups.
Caden Halajo is the tailback. He's on his left hip right now. They're running what looks to be 3 wide receivers and the tight end in. Takes the handoff to Halajo. Halajo over that right side, out close to a first down pickup. Looks as though he's about 2 yards short, so 3rd and 2. They're at the 44. For those of you who are listening on the radio, the ball's on the far hash mark, once again going from right to left. Don't forget, you can always watch on Facebook and on YouTube. Just search Beaver County Radio. Now, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Hand off to Halajo again, trying to get that first down pickup, plowing forward. He needed 2, he got 3.
Yeah, he got it. Something, here's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's against Aliquippa, it doesn't matter who it's against. You can throw the ball over the yard, but if you can't establish the line of scrimmage and you can't grind clock out, you're going to wear your players out. That passing game works, but then, there's 45-40 games. Keep the other team in the game as well. Eat clock, get first downs.
They pull the tight end and get maybe a yard on that run. It looks as though that was Dylan Rogers on the sweep there. So on the offensive line, Abram Kolodinsky, 6'2", 260. He's the junior. He's returning as a starter. Jacob Halbadell, he's 6'2", 265, another junior. Noah Halaja at center, 6'1", 270. Keyshawn White and Ricky Herman. And now handoff, actually quarterback keeper over the left side. He's able to get to the 48-yard line and sets up what looks to be about a third, and we'll call it 5.
So now it's decision time. 3rd and 4 maybe they're looking at. Do you run the ball again, get 2 or 3, and then take a chance on 4th down? Do you throw? They haven't thrown yet. Now they're in a different set. They've got 3 wide right.
Yeah, 3 wide to the top, 1 to the bottom. Brandon Bennett, shotgun, takes it, fakes the handoff, quick wide receiver screen, has it, connection, has the first down pickup, and he's off to the races. 35-yard line, taken down inside the 35, down around the 34. Wasn't a long pass, but it was about getting the ball out to the receiver, getting it to your town out in space.
That's exactly it. I mean, when you've got a sophomore quarterback, you don't make them look 2, 3, 4 receivers downfield, and you know that you don't have a ton of time to throw. 1-2 seconds, you throw it to a back, and hopefully he breaks a tackle. They did, first down.
3 wide receivers, tight ends back in the formation. He pulls, running back going the other way. Halajo, nice run by Halajo. They ran the tight end, pulled toward the right, kind of a misdirection, and then a counterplay back to the left.
And you know something? All positive so far. Nothing negative, no drops. One play of 2 yards. It's all positive yards. They're marching down the field. So far, a good drive for them.
It's all up tempo, too. Brandon Bennett, shotgun. Calajo on his hip, hands it off. That time all wrapped up on that one. Longmire coming in from his defensive linebacker position. He's number 2 on the team in tackles, 42 on the season, 4 for a tackle for loss, and that was pretty close to being a tackle for loss.
That was a tackle for loss, and I had to say something, and they lost 2 yards there. So now 3rd down. Curious whether right now you'd think they're in 4 down position, so now it's 5 they're going to say. They move it back a yard. Interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to run twice, but we'll see. He could keep it and roll out right, too. I suspect that could happen.
Strong side to the left side. Hands it off. Nope. Bennett still has it, trying to make some room. And the Aliquippa defense swarms him under. He's all the way back behind the line of scrimmage that he had at the 34. He's all the way back to the 35. That play looked as though it just wasn't going to work from the beginning.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, they fooled us for a second, but the biggest problem was you're a young guy. You think you can make a play. As soon as that play broke down, he needed to get rid of the ball and just throw it out of bounds. He did not do that. They ended up losing about 7, so now they're 4th and 11. So it looks like they're going to go for it. Interesting. Why not?
Bennett shotgun, Halajo on his left hip.
Or they're going to try to draw Aliquippa
Play clock
offside.
is down to 5 seconds. Halajo flips sides, back to pass, looking, pressure's coming, makes a man miss, still running, looking for where to go, and he has a man open inside the 30. Can he get the first down? He needs to get to the 24. He got tackled
I don't think so.
Right around the 25. It looks as though they're going to call him short and a turnover on downs.
But you know what? That's not too bad, because even if you decide to punt from there, likely you're going to either punt it in the end zone or you're going to punt it short, and the guy's going to bring it out to around the 20 or so. So what'd you do? You lost maybe 5-6 yards on it. If the kid breaks a tackle, you got a first down inside the 25. So that was not a bad play. Kid got open. He was about half a yard short. So now Aliquippa starts deeper in their territory. For Montour, it was worth a try. They did play well on offense. Now the key is, what can they do on defense? They've proved they can move the ball against Aliquippa and not score. Can you stop them now?
Khalil Good, it looks as though he is going to be set up first at quarterback. Khalil Good with 2 wide receivers. Now a reset of the formation. Khalil Good goes under center, 3 running backs behind him. Hands it off, bounces it over that right side. Here he comes running. He's off to the races, 40, 45, 50. Inside the 40-yard line, finally taken down out of bounds around the 32. Joseph Work on the run over that right side.
Nobody from Montour was out there. Nobody. Not a linebacker. Nobody. They bit up the middle. They didn't react. They thought it was going to be all up the middle. He came to the line, slid down, went right, and just tore down the sideline. So that's a way to turn the field over.
Everybody's in tight. Full house backfield. 2 full backs, tailback. Joseph Work hands it off to Work. Dive play up the middle. No, that was Akiva Woods on that play. Akiva Woods picking up what looks to be 8 yards.
Now the offensive line with a nice push there for Aliquippa, and that's a big key right up the middle. And when you've got linemen with you going down in 5 yards into the secondary, that's positive for the Quips. So far, 2 plays, both positive inside Montour territory.
Offensive line once again for Aliquippa. Jaden Brown, Miles Green, Kingston Wilcox, Eric Raspberry, and Justice Starks, and they're going in tight once again. Big set, double tight end, full house backfield, hands it off to the fullback. Longmire has it inside the 20, 15, down close to the 10-yard line. First and goal from inside the 10.
This is something that didn't work a lot during the regular season against Mars, against Penn Hills. We saw in the beginning of the year Longmire Work, other guys get the call. 3 different running backs, 3 different positive plays.
Handoff, Longmire one more time inside the 5, down near the 3.
And you know, it's interesting is they've got Good under center and not in shotgun position.
Full house backfield one more time. Longmire has it, plowing over that right side. There's a scrum down there, and they're going to call him down inside the 1. So 3rd and goal inside the 1-yard line.
All positive. That big running play. That's what they're used to here. Big running play by a big running back, and they got that big 45, 50-yarder by Work. Maybe even longer than that. Might have been 55 yards, and then a couple positive plays from there, and so far so good for the Quips, knocking on the door.
Double tight ends, full house backfield. Akiva Woods in the tailback. Hands it off. Longmire has it. Touchdown?
Nope.
Good says it's a touchdown. Are they going to give it to him? Or 4th and goal from inside the 1? No, touchdown.
Now they're going to say touchdown. Took them a long time. They wanted to see if the ball was over the line, and the ball was over the line, it looks like. But one of the Montour guys shot the gap and tried to make a tackle. I don't know if you saw that, Robert. Somebody shot through the line, did a great job, but just guessed wrong. His guy didn't, the running back did not go over his spot, or if he would have, he might have been tackled for a loss, but it's going to be a touchdown for, we're saying, was it Longmire?
That's what I thought it was. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Ronaldo Romero. I asked Coach what that was like with having the kicker, where you don't have to feel like you have to go for 2 all the time, and he says Ronaldo Romero is just a stud at this point, and we'll come back with the kickoff in just about 30 seconds. It's Aliquippa up 7-0 on Montour on Beaver County Radio.
It's time to tackle your HVAC unit's problems before they happen. It's time to call the winning team at Johnson's Heating and Cooling. Temperatures will be changing, so it's the perfect time to call Johnson's for a maintenance check. And here's the best part. If you're in Beaver County, you're close to Johnson's, conveniently located in Beaver Falls. Find out why customers keep running back to Johnson's Heating and Cooling for prompt, reliable service and competitive pricing. Call 724-581-4195 or visit Johnson's Heating at Comcast.net.
The defense for Aliquippa, bend, don't break, down and close to the red zone. And then the offense gets the ball back, and it's nothing but classic Aliquippa football. We're going to run the ball. We're going to get in formations to run the ball. You know we're going to run the ball, and you're not going to stop us from running the ball.
Yeah, about a 45-yard run from Joseph Work, and then a couple of positive ones from Cleaser Longmire and others, and they're knocking on the door. 7-0 with the kick. So That's what you want. Now the big thing is you keep playing good defense. Don't forget, you now have the lead, and you get the ball first in the second half. So that's why a lot of teams do that. Play good defense, stop the away team here. We're fired up, and then we score first, and then you dominate the game or have control of the game. Now Montour is, I'm going to say, must score, but Montour has to play from behind.
Romero with the kickoff. It is away. It is a high kick taken at the 20-yard line and able to get out to the 30. Made the first two gunners miss, but ultimately taken out of bounds. And now Montour will have it 1st and 10 from right around the 32-yard line. That was Dom Barron on the return.
Well, now for Montour, they proved they can run the ball okay against Aliquippa. Had a couple nice pass plays, but they need some bigger plays if they want to move the ball and score, because Quip tightened up on defense once they got inside the 30.
Brandon Bennett, shotgun once again. Wide receivers to either side, 2 each. They're stacked up in an I formation. Ball on the far hash mark. And now they look back over to the sideline. They're a bit of an up-tempo. They really don't huddle at all and really want to keep things going. Back to pass, pressure's coming. Makes a couple of misses, able to avoid a couple of others, and then able to continue on his feet. Nice run all the way out to what looks to be the 37-yard line. Nice pickup by Brandon Bennett. There wasn't anything there, and he made some positive yardage.
2 guys in I formation. What you want the one guy to do is go out further and block. Well, the one guy did that on the right side, left side. He looked at the other guy on the left who turned and around, but the DB for Aliquippa was right there, and he knew throwing that was going to either be an interception or a knockdown, and he decided right away to run, which was good for him because he got some positive yardage.
Yeah, one of the things you don't want to do is turn it over here.
Right, wait too long to run. Yeah.
Bennett, man in motion, tosses it out to the sweep, and Aliquippa read that perfectly, coming up from his cornerback position, able to make the stop. Akiva Woods read that, stayed home, saw the sweep coming his way, tackle for no gain.
Yeah. Montour 3rd down now. Interesting. They have a lot of passes to the screen passes right now, and that's what they're set up to do. See if they pass the ball or run out of this position.
Fakes the handoff, play action, looking for somewhere to go, and there's a flag on the play, 2 flags on the play. He continues to look for somewhere, plows himself forward, and gets what looks to be an early call for the first down. But we have to see what the flags say.
That's probably holding. Yeah. Yep. That's holding. When it's in that position right there, that was against, didn't see exactly who did it, but had to be one of the linemen. And the thing is Banks has to get rid of the ball quicker or get out of the pocket quicker. Quip is good at getting to the quarterback. They've always had fast guys that get to the quarterback. That's been that way for years. You have to get there quicker. You got to make quicker decisions.
And one of the difficult things about blocking for a guy who can scramble is that you're holding a block in one spot, then he scrambles around to a different side of the field. Next thing you know, you're in a holding position. Fakes a sweep, makes a man miss, no hold, and throws it out of bounds. Good play by Bennett. He was going to be sacked for a loss of about 10 yards, but was smart enough to run the play out as long as he could and then threw it out of bounds to avoid the sack.
Well, here's the thing about that play. I mean, they faked it to a guy, but nobody from Quip bid on it. And he's got 5 guys in his face and nobody blocking for him. There's nobody there to block. I mean, it didn't matter if he kept the ball. He might have gained 1 or 2. But Quip saw him, nobody blocking. So Montour's got to do a better job of blocking for him and knowing where that play is going to go. And they didn't. They have to punt. This could get ugly early for Montour if they don't have some good defense coming up.
Xander Stern with the punt. It is high. It is end over end, and the fair catch is called by Khalil Good at the 45-yard line. So now they have it 1st and 10 at the 45. We'll come back in 60 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
it might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers at Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Dial 724-774-3200 and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors, LiftMaster garage door openers, and over 50 years experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Electric Garage Door Sales. Give them a call at 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com.
Searching for a sleek new ride without breaking the bank this summer? All Access Automotive next to the YMCA has you covered. With reliable service, easy financing, and an extensive list of inventory, All Access Automotive has become the premier spot in Beaver County to find your car of the future. Looking to trade in your current vehicle? All Access will give you a fair trade-in value. Browse the eye-catching All Access lot Monday through Saturday and talk to an All Access representative and learn more today. All Access Automotive, where reliability and transparency come before anything else.
Aliquippa getting the ball, 2:46 to go in the first quarter. And it's all Aliquippa so far. Montour with that first drive able to move the ball quite well, but then grounded to a halt just outside the red zone. And then Aliquippa took it and was able to march down quickly for their own score. And then a very quick 3 and out for Montour.
And now's the time where Montour has to play some solid defense. You cannot afford to go down 2 touchdowns. I'm not saying they can't come back. But you don't want to be down 2 touchdowns to an Aliquippa team that's going to get the ball first in the second half.
And now Aliquippa lining up everybody big except for one lone wide receiver. I formation, handoff over that left side, and a nice run, making a couple of men miss and stumbling forward. Akiva Woods, a pickup of 8 on that play. And it was all about the dance moves. He kept on making little shuffles side to side, but kept on figuring out little ways of being able to step forward, and ultimately a pickup of 8. Aliquippa right back to the line of scrimmage. It looks as though they may have gotten a Montour player to jump. Yes, Montour jumped, automatic 5 and a first down.
Gotta tackle guys by their legs. I've said it last week, said it 2 weeks ago, said it 3 weeks ago. You can't tackle guys by the shoulders unless you are immensely strong and can bring a guy down. You have to tackle guys by their legs.
All right, so first down to Aliquippa at the Montour 42. Ball right between the hash marks. Aliquippa sends one wide receiver out wide to the top of the screen, if you will, Josh Lay. Double tight ends, I formation. Lay crosses over in motion. Takes the ball, looking. Khalil Good deciding to run, and then taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Looks as though he's got sacked and a loss of 3 on the play.
You know, I get it. You're going to have to pass in the playoffs. I get it. But right now for this game, you're not worried about that. You're worried about this game, and they have not stopped the run yet. They have not had a tackle in the backfield yet, and you just gave them that opportunity. You don't need to pass right now. Now you might have to now, 2nd and 12, but you're running the ball. Just go with what works.
They brought in the jumbo package and over that right side, and Montour read it. A pickup of 1 only on that play. 3rd and 11, not where Aliquippa wants to be. An immediate stop by Montour.
And I got a feeling that this is 4-down territory for the Quips. Probably pass one of these 2 downs, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're not going to punt. And they bring Cleaster Longmire out. They do bring 2 receivers in and a tight end.
Akiva is on Khalil Good's right hip. Wide receivers at the top and to the bottom. And fake the Akiva, and Khalil Good keeps it himself. First down and more, all the way down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. He faked that handoff to the left to Akiva Woods. The defenders went with him, and Khalil just decided to run right up the middle.
Classic. Let's put receivers out there, and let's pretend we're going to pass, and I run the ball right up the middle, and they're right back into formation.
1st and 10, 29-yard line, 2 wide receivers, 1 to the top, 1 at the bottom, double tight end to the near side. Fakes the handoff. Wide receiver screen, has it, and a nice little pickup there for Josh Lay. Came back for the pass, able to pick up what looks to be about 2, though.
That'll be it for the first quarter. Quips running, playing well. Khalil Good used his speed. We saw it. That was a beautiful first down.
7-0 Aliquippa on top of Montour. Back in 60 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
Falling in love is one thing. Having anxiety about falling is a whole different subject. If you or a family member are concerned about falling, and yes, either up or down the stairs, or maybe even out of bed, St. Barnabas has a special message and some ideas just for you. Years of experience in working with people who are prone to falls has given St. Barnabas special expertise in this area. Call them at 724-443-0700 and learn about ways that you can begin to feel more confident and safe, including suggestions that you can implement right now into your daily routine. Call St. Barnabas at 724-443-0700. For many years now, St. Barnabas has been helping people fall, in love that is, with their new, better life, a longer life, a risk-free life. Call St. Barnabas now at 724-443-0700 or visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com and learn more about living longer and better.
He waved.
We're back. Let's check in with Derek Rossiter with the Lisa Latha team, brokered by eXp Realty Sideline Report. Derek, what do you see down there?
Well, I tell you what, Montour's got to keep Aliquippa out of the backfield. They just cannot move that ball. They're penetrating that line real quick. And on the defensive side, Montour's trying, but Aliquippa's finding a way to run the ball in their defense.
Looking at the Fried Transportation update, Death Central Valley on top of Hopewell, 3-0. And they have moved on to the second quarter. And what else do we have? Southside beating Laurel 7-3 so far. We'll go back and we'll get more of those scores coming up in a moment. And so now, Aliquippa, 2nd and 8, ball's on the 27-yard line. We're about to start the second quarter here in just a moment. And Aliquippa, for the most part, there's just not much to complain about.
Yeah, they're doing well. They didn't turn the ball over. Only one negative play, and that was Khalil Good on the one quarterback sneak did not work out. But the other one worked out so well, it was a first down. So they're playing well, and I think they're waiting for TV right now is what they're doing. Yep, and we're ready to go.
So this time, shotgun formation. Khalil Good decides to follow his blocker and runs a little wildcat and sets up a third and what looks to be 3 from right around the 22-yard line.
He's a really good player. He's fast. I mean, you could tell. He's probably the fastest or one of the fastest guys on the field. You could just see on that run. He was ahead of his blockers. He's got speed. You saw it on the first down run. I mean, they lose some from Council. They lose a little bit of an arm. Council's got the better arm, but Khalil's a smart guy. He's a good game manager.
Running backs across the line and a dive play right up the gut for Aliquippa, and they're able to get what looks to be the first down pickup. They had to get to the 19, and they're just shy. Well, actually, they're just past the 19, so they have the first down.
You know, the thing I like about Khalil is just like his brother Quentin that was here. He just doesn't turn the ball over. Game manager, make the running backs look good. You run on occasion when you have to. Don't make bad passes. Don't throw the ball away. And just be smart. And that's the best thing about having a leader like that that's got skill. They don't make big mistakes.
Avery Coleman on the run and the first down. Khalil Good has it, follows blockers over that right side. Here comes some flags. We'll have to see what that's all about. Maybe a holding call. But that came from one of the back judges on that far side, right around the 15-yard line.
It's a heck of a design play, but he just rolls out and follows blockers. You know, when you have people that are blocking you and you have skill, and there's a whole mess of guys around, you still get 7 or 8 yards. But that might be coming back.
The official call.
Yep, it's on offense.
Yes.
Holding.
So they'll bring it back 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So they had it 1st and 10 at the 19. It looks as though they'll back it up now to the 25.
So when you are rolling out and guys are in front of you and you are blocking, there's blocking and there's holding a guy and pushing him. That's holding. So there must have been somebody holding and pushing. That gets called as a hold because you don't let that guy have an opportunity to move. You can block without holding.
Khalil Good hands it off out over this left side. Nice run. That was Joseph Work. Able to get nice yardage, all of that penalty yardage back to about the 17 now.
You know, Work has been a guy that's missed a few games, but he's been in there a couple games that he struggled quite a bit, and he's come on the last few weeks.
And then Aliquippa going up tempo too, getting in formation. And now looking to the sideline for the adjustment on the play call. Wide receivers to the top and to the bottom. And now what looks to be a timeout. Timeout on the field.
This might be officials' timeout. I don't think
it looks like it so far. I'm not seeing them pointed in any directions.
Yeah, this is officials' timeout. We're back. Yep, clock.
Potentially a uniform adjustment, something like that.
Something might have been laying on the field. I don't know exactly.
Okay, back to the formation. Wide receiver to the top, one to the bottom. And then Khalil Good with his tailback on his left hip. Montour playing a single high safety. Handoff over that right side, trying to find the seam over one defender and then taken down at the 12-yard line. That was Akiva Woods on the carry.
You know, what I like is he's looking at the sidelines, getting the calls from the head coach every play. He's giving him signals. He gives him something in, but then he looks to see if there's a change. Again, good game manager. Now you're 3rd and 3. You're definitely in 4-down territory here.
3rd and 3 from the 12. Takes a snap. Fakes the handoff. Keeps it himself. Bounces it outside. Can he make another man miss? No. But it does look as though he may have had enough for the first down pickup.
Oh, yeah. I mean, bounced twice outside. First time, got a couple. Second time, got a couple more. So he gets the first down, I believe. Yeah, that's first down. Has to be. They haven't moved the sticks yet, but that's a
The
first
officials just called it first down. First and goal from the 9-yard line for Aliquippa. 8:44 to go with a running clock.
Twice we've had Aliquippa with the ball and only one tackle for loss for Montour. Everything's been positive for the Quips. I don't think there was a drop pass. There's been all positives. And the Quips looking to knock on the door to go up 2 scores.
Wide receivers out, one to the top, one to the bottom. Khalil Good. Corner pattern up and intercepted by Montour. Wow. That cornerback was able to adjust, look back for the ball, and high pointed. Just an absolutely beautiful interception.
Well, you know what? Exactly. Give credit to the DB that he got back there, but that ball hung up a long time. That was not a good throw by Khalil. He is not, again, he's not practiced a ton, but that was one of those, let's get our guy to out-jump your guy, but you have to get the ball there. It was thrown a little short. Give credit to Montour. Big turnover, because you can't go down. You cannot go down 2 scores to this team. So there's a big turnover, and this will be the 3rd time that Montour has the ball. See if they can do something with it. They got a long way to go, though.
If that corner doesn't turn just when he did,
then he doesn't get it.
No, he doesn't, and you're looking at Aliquippa 6. Just an absolutely great play by the cornerback for Montour to get that interception. So now, Brandon Bennett, new life, first down, 20-yard line, hands it off. Halojo has it out to the 23. And a pickup of a few yards on first down.
See, now you know what they do. Now they know what you do. So for Montour, the question is, do you change anything or do you just get better at what you do? They're going to have to get a little bit better at what they do because I don't know how extensive this playbook is.
3 wide receivers to the near side. Tight end on the far side. Bennett with Halojo on his right hip. Aliquippa playing against the pass with both of their safeties playing high. Setting up for a wide receiver screen. Halojo has it. Breaks a couple of tackles out near the 29, almost the 30-yard line for a first down. It looked as though he was going to be stopped for very little gain, but was able to break a tackle. And then it looked as though he may be off to the races.
What did you say in the pregame? He runs with purpose. He runs mean. He runs hard. If not for that, he's probably down maybe a yard. Now they've got a legitimate 3rd and 1 and a chance to keep this drive going. They still haven't had a really big play, though, to really move the ball.
Twin running backs with Bennett. Takes it, decides to keep it himself. No, that Bennett was actually a Wildcat. And a first down pickup. Nice first down pickup. Halojo was in the Wildcat that time. and took the direct snap with running backs on either side, followed his blockers, able to get that first down pickup.
And that makes sense. I like that because now it's right to you. You know you're getting it. You have a head of steam into the line. You just find a hole, get that 1 yard. And I like the Wildcat when you get a guy that can handle that and you get a snapper that can handle that.
Formation we've seen a lot. 3 wide receivers, 1 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Hands off to Halajo. Halajo over the right side and immediately taken down. That was a big-time tackle. Miles Green coming in from his nose tackle position, able to stuff that for no gain.
What did I talk about? Line play. I mean, the O-line's creating some holes or moving the ball a little bit, but they're not outplaying Quip. Even maybe a slight edge towards Quip because Quip's offensive line's been better. But they got to be able to withstand blocks longer and get these kids some running room.
Back to pass, looking, trying to find somebody. Nobody out there. Decides to run with it now. He's on his own out to the 40, first down pickup, and finally run out of bounds around midfield.
That's exactly what Quip does with Marcus Council. Exact same thing. You get back there. There was a guy open at the 44-yard line for about 3 seconds, and then the safety picked him up. If he'd have thrown that, that's either an interception. He's not yet to the point where he knows exactly where each guy's going to be. He's not that versed yet. He's not that experienced. So when you don't know, you run the ball. First down, use your speed, kid, or throw it out of bounds and live to play another day.
And with a young quarterback, you'd much rather have a quarterback that says, I'm going to tuck it and run than just throw it anyway.
Exactly.
And have picks.
Unless you know your guy is open. He's not yet to the progressions of looking at 3 receivers. First guy wasn't open. Run the ball yourself.
Halajo over the left side and a nice pickup of about maybe 3-4 yards on that play. Now they're in Aliquippa territory.
Yep.
About 5:30 to go in the second quarter. And maybe the best drive they've had since that first drive of the game.
Exactly. I'm not saying you have to score here, but boy, it would be nice for them to score because then you go at least tied at halftime, and then Quip gets the ball in the second half. So you'd kind of like to put some points on the board here.
Handoff, nope. Handoff over the 45-yard line down to the 43.
You keep chunking yards like this, 3-4 at a time. You'll get there, but the question is, are you going to have enough time? That's the thing. You got to have some bigger plays. They had a nice one on that tuck and run, but with 4:56 to go, 3 and 4 yards at a clip, it's going to take some time to get in the end zone. They need some big plays.
They mix it up a little bit, too. Archie Collins on the run. He's only carried the ball about 20 times for 227 yards and 3 touchdowns. And now Bennett decided to keep it himself and tucks down. He's getting close to a first down pickup, but there is a flag back at the 46.
See, that was just odd. I don't know. It's just like whether he took too long to decide what to do. He stood there for like a split second when he could have ran earlier. And the 2 backs just kind of stood there. We also have a Quip player down.
Yeah.
It looks like
Longmire.
It's Longmire, yeah.
We had number 2 in the team in tackles. He's a big loss to have him out for any length of time, even a couple of plays.
That's holding. That's going to knock them back. So Montour, the big penalty against them, that's not good. That's going to make it 3rd and probably 12, 13 yards. They already have it up on the scoreboard, 3rd and 12. They haven't moved the ball back yet, though, I don't think. Yeah, I just didn't like the way that play went. I saw that play in pregame, but it went faster. You faked to the running backs, and you quickly went to the right. Well, he faked and then stood there for a second as if like he was hoping they'd bite on the fake, and then nobody from Quip even moved. And then he finally went. I really think that if he would have went quicker, they're still tending to Longmire.
Yes.
And they finally moved the ball back. They finally moved it back.
All right, while they tend to Longmire, we'll take a little pause. We'll come back in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
When you talk about community involvement and safety, the name Fry stands at the forefront in Beaver County. Fry Transportation's mission is to continue to raise the bar as the gold standard in their industry by providing the safest, most reliable, and cost-efficient transportation service in Beaver County through their strong relationships with their community's best-in-their-class drivers, equipment, and technology. There's nothing more important than the safety of their students, employees, and community members. Fry Transportation, where the quality of their organization is characterized by the makeup of the individual behind the wheel.
From the Fry Transportation Update Desk, How about this? New Brighton up on Western Beaver 8-0. Last week, Western Beaver loses. They didn't have Wyatt Sparbaney. Big question is he out for this game too?
He might be, but he's not out for the year, I heard today.
Snap back on the run. 45, trying to get a first down, lowers his shoulder, knocked out of bounds just inside the 40. Nice run and pickup by Brandon Bennett to get that first down.
The benefit of having 3 and 4 wide receivers go deep is that clears 3 or 4 players that could normally make tackles away from you. And if the linebackers are biting on runs, they're not as fast as you. They can't get to the sidelines as fast. You see that open ground, go for it. If Quip can't stop it, keep doing it. It's a big play.
4 wide receivers set, 2 top, 2 bottom. Snap back, keeps it himself. Bennett trying to find some room, and this time Aliquippa just wasn't having it on that one. Takoa Gilbert up on the stop.
Let's see where they marked this ball. Met immediately and blows that, so he's going to lose a yard. See, sometimes you go to the well once too often. You've got running backs that are used to running up against linemen and stuff like that. I'm not big on a quarterback going up the middle on his own unless he's a superstar and can dit through there. I like him going left and right. I do that. I don't like him taking that punishment going up the middle. I really don't. That's just my opinion. Now 2nd and 11.
What's interesting, too, is that Aliquippa is playing 2 safeties deep. They're respecting the pass, and they're doing all the run stoppage with those front 7. Bennett trying to find some room. He didn't. Back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's about it for a 3rd and 10 now.
And see, on that play, you're on the short side. If you're on the short side, he has to run. There's no running room. He's a left-handed quarterback. If you're on the right hash, that makes sense. You're on the left hash. Him running left doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's no room to run. Now it's 3rd and 10. Figure they're in 4-down territory. They have 2 plays to get 10 yards. But they're going to the same play too many times, where you give him the option of running left. And it's just not there last time.
Bennett's all by himself in the backfield. 5 wide receivers and a timeout. Aliquippa. This is a set we've yet to see so far tonight with 5 wide receivers wide. And so they take a timeout. We'll take a timeout with them. Back in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
Looking for that special home or wanting to sell yours? Let the Lisa Latham team, brokered by eXp Realty, help you. Hi, I'm Tank Latham, and our goal is to make you feel comfortable whether buying or selling. Lisa and I strive to make the process as smooth and as easy as possible. We invite you to visit the all-new eXp office located at 926 3rd Avenue, New Brighton. Give us a call at 724-307-5472. Check out Beaver County Home Inventory on our website, lisalatham.com. The Lisa Latham team, results that move you.
Let's check in with Joe from Boom Pow DIY Solar. We'll get an update from him in a moment with Central Valley and Hopewell. Other scores that are taking place around the Beaver County area. And most notably, how about this one? Southside up 7-3 over Laurel. Newcastle 14-0 on Ambridge. And I'll tell you what, they're about to play. We'll get to Joseph in just a moment from Boom Pow DIY Solar. Well, in fact, we'll get to him right after this play. It's 3rd and 10 for Montour. They decided to go back with a 5 wide receiver set. Aliquippa now set with their defense. Pressure coming off the edge. Takoa Gilbert and a strip sack. And now Aliquippa has it 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line. Let's check in with Joe from Boom Pow DIY Solar and the latest from Central Valley and Hopewell.
Thanks, Mike and Mangino. On the opening drive, Nashir Wade runs 4 in a row for great yardage, moving the ball deep into Central territory, but things stall at the 25-yard line. With 9:43, Central blocks the field goal by Rocco Marcantonio. Central working hard deep into the Hopewell territory. Ambrose scores a touchdown, but brought back for holding at 6-16. At 6:13, Central, Dominic Pratt kicks a 35-yard field goal. 3-0 right now. Central Valley, both teams working evenly matched. The end of the first quarter. Give me a call at 844 Boom Pow. I'll save you a fortune. Back to Mike and Mangino.
Thank you very much. Aliquippa, first down, run out over the left side and work. Able to pick up what looks to be about 2. Takoa Gilbert, what a series he just had. A sack and then a strip sack and a turnover, able to keep Montour from scoring, and then all of a sudden it kind of negates that interception that was thrown just a while ago.
You know, they've moved the ball twice in their 3 drives against Aliquippa, but they get in the Quip territory, and all of a sudden their offenses grind to a halt. Couple of sacks, couple of missed plays. Montour's playing pretty good against Quip. Not a blowout here, but, Aliquippa's the better team so far.
Handoff. Has a seam and work out over the 45-yard line, close to the 47. He's about a yard short of the first down. Let's go check in with Derek on the sideline. Derek, you have an update on Longmire's injury.
Yeah, they're working him out on the sideline a little bit. Looked to be a lower back injury. They've got him stretched out. He keeps twisting a little bit down here to keep everything moving, but it looks like he's going to be returning to the game.
Good news for Aliquippa. And now Good is looking over to the sideline. He has an I formation behind him. One wide receiver under center. Takes a snap, hands it off to the up back, and that one was Avery Coleman. Able to get that first down. He needed 1. He got 2. They're out to the 49.
This is, in my opinion, I could be dead wrong about this, but I think this is the game right here. Montour has to stop them. They can't afford to let them score and then get the ball first in the second half, because then Quip could be up 3. I think you got to stop them from scoring here. You only got a minute 42 to go, but you can't let them get a big run. You can't let them get on the scoreboard. Montour needs to toughen up.
Everybody's in tight. Shotgun. Hands it off. Nope. Good has it. He's off to the races. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Nobody going to catch him. Touchdown. Khalil Good. He faked it to the right to his tailback, and then the middle just parted like the Red Sea, and Khalil Good ran through it.
Dude, I'm not saying I could have ran through that, but if you give me enough time, I could have. There was so much room there that everything parted for him. There was a ton of room. For you folks watching and watch the replay, there is so much room to run, and he burst through that. He is fast, and we talked about how fast. It's coming back. Oh, my goodness. That's coming back. Hear the crowd. They're not happy.
Nope, there was a flag on the play at the 45-yard line.
Wow.
And they're going to back him up 10 yards, so maybe the reason why the hole was so wide open was because of a holding call.
I didn't see a flag. I don't know. I don't think you did.
I didn't see one at first either. I was too busy watching him just run.
I just saw him run through the line, and he didn't get, unless he got brushed at the line, no one touched him, and he burst through there. His speed he's one of the fastest guys we've seen this year. We've seen a couple of fast guys. Beaver Falls' quarterback is fast. We've seen a couple guys, but Khalil Good might be the fastest guy in Beaver County.
Aliquippa.
It's huge.
There's a timeout.
Yep.
And this time it's on Montour because Aliquippa got set up with what looked to be a 4 wide receiver set.
Penalties happen. You're probably right. To be that wide open, to have that much room, there had to be a guard. There had to be attack. Somebody had to be pushing and holding. Again, I've talked to officials over and over and over. We're going to have some officials on the coach's corner coming up next month.
That's a good idea.
100-year anniversary.
Nice.
But and one thing officials have told me for a long time is, yes, there are holding, and yes, there's penalties on every single play. But if there's holding on the right side of the line and you're running left, it doesn't affect anything. They usually let that go. But if you're running left and a linebacker, and somebody takes a linebacker down, holding. If somebody's holding that linebacker or lineman from getting to you, holding. So you got to call those. If you're holding, because everybody holds a little bit. Right. If you don't let a guy go, that's when the holding calls get taken. And a lot of people complain about them, but if you don't call that stuff, it's going to happen more and more and more, and then there's unfair advantages. So the officials do a pretty good job, in my opinion.
Aliquippa, 4 wide receivers, 3 to the top, 1 to the bottom. And a handoff. Nice run over the right side. All of that penalty yardage back inside the 45-yard line. Akiva Woods once again. They are rotating between J.J. Work, Akiva Woods, a little bit of Avery Coleman, keeping everybody fresh. Once again, 4 wide receivers, 3 to the near side. Khalil Good hands it off. And this time over the left side, and it is Akiva Woods once again. And he is really close to a first down pickup.
Now we have a Montour player down. They had a lot of guys there waiting for him. I know on the last play, when you mentioned when Woods went right, they had a guy in the backfield again. That's about the third time I've seen a Montour player in the backfield, but the play was going the other way. They guessed, they got there, but the running back was going somewhere else. So there are some Montour players beating their guys on the line, but in situations where they haven't, and we have a Montour player down. But Quip only has 56 seconds to go, but you never know. We haven't seen Khalil Good go downfield with a pass yet. We've seen him, we did on the interception. It was a high pitch, but nothing where he's going 15, 20, 25 yards downfield. I don't know what kind of arm he has.
Yes.
He's a option, not an option, he's a running quarterback. He's thrown the ball 3, maybe 4 times. But for them to score, they're going to have to break a run like he did, or they're going to need a big play.
Yeah, last week he was only 2 for 11 for 51 yards, Khalil Good. Great news, Tyson Verdream was the injured Spartan that was down on the field, and he was grabbing at his knee at first, but the trainer came out, and he was able to get up and walk off the field under his own power. Tyson is a sophomore. How about this, 6'4", 225.
Montour produces a lot of good players over the years. They've been very good for a lot of years. Had a few lean years, but even on years like this, they're at least competitive and knocking on the playoff door.
And Good, what do we have?
Somebody jumped. I think it was
penalty.
Montour. I said one of the guys on Montour got up from his stance. No, it's on Quip. Okay, he was just excited that it was Quip. Okay.
Yeah, in fact, it didn't even look like everybody was fully set for the play. But the linemen must have gone down and then decided to adjust themselves, and then next thing you know, here comes the penalty. Okay, so 4 wide receivers, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom, ball in the near hash mark. They're going from right to left, man in motion, back to pass. Khalil Good calling his own number one more time, splits the defense, gets inside the 40 down to the 38.
I mean, he gets 8 yards, and you figure he had the ball at the 50. He was in shotgun, so he runs 13 just to get 8. Effective. Now another timeout for Aliquippa. Now still, I think it says they've got 1 left. I thought they called 2 already. But they still have 1 more left. So not bad to get that near first down territory. See, you don't have to get the first down on this play, but you're starting to run out of time in the first half. They're going to have to throw the ball downfield. I think they were hoping that he could break some tackles and get through that line. He's our best player. It's like Tyke Hayes used to be. The fastest guy gets the ball. You get him an open hole. Sometimes you break tackles and you score. Well, I think they're hoping Khalil Good can do that as well.
If they're going to run it, they have to run it, I would think, to the short side, hoping to be able to get out of bounds to stop the clock.
Yes.
Whether they get the first down or not, just to be able to stop the clock longer than what a first down pickup would stop it for. But they have 44 seconds left. They clearly quick strike capabilities for Aliquippa. And it seems as though it's plenty of time at this point. 2nd and 8.
Wow, look at all these guys out.
Ball at the 38. 4 wide receivers set. 3 wide to the top, 1 to the bottom. Quick pass over the middle. Has it. Josh Lay inside the 30. First down pickup.
He was down. The ball popped out after he was down. They stopped the clock with the movement of the chains, but the ball came out after he was down. The side official just pointing his hands down. So Quip doesn't have to take a timeout here, but now a fresh set of downs, so that doesn't really matter. They were able to get the first down, which stops the clock.
And the clock is now going again after it's been spotted. Back to Khalil Good, making some man missed on the coverage, and another interception. Khalil Good threw it up in the air, trying to hit what looked to be Ray Miller on a crossing route at around the 10, and he threw it into double coverage, and the Spartans dodge another bullet this time and able to keep that score at 7-0 with 26 seconds left to go.
Now you're sitting there at the 8. I almost guarantee they're going to take a knee. There's no way you want to fumble the ball now and have them have a chance to get a score. You're likely not, unless you do something fantastic, going to get a touchdown here. I'd be shocked if they don't take a knee here. I mean, a lot of coaches don't believe in that, and they're going to try to make it go long, but the last thing you want Montour to do is turn the ball over here.
They're set 3 wide, shotgun formation with Halajo on his right hip. They're looking over to the sideline. It sure looks as though they're going to run a legit play here.
It does. I'm a little surprised.
They're at 5 seconds on the play clock. Takes it, hands it off. Halajo over the left side, trying to find some room, bounces it outside, out to the 15 and taken down at the 16-yard line. He's down at the 17, and the clock continues to roll.
They have timeouts,
They
too.
called timeout.
They called the timeout.
15 seconds left.
You know, here's the thing. If you don't use those timeouts, and people say, well, we had 24 seconds. You could have used the timeout. Yeah, you could break a run, and you could score. And they make a guy like me look stupid. But at the same time, if you fumble down there, you likely lose the game. That's the old way of thinking. Now the new way of thinking is you got time on the clock, move the ball. I'd be really surprised if they threw the ball. But odder things have happened in football. I just look at it, 7-0 at Aliquippa. You've at times run the ball and played well against them with some adjustments on defense and adjustments on offense.
Mm-hmm.
You're in this game, and you could win. This is a winnable game for Montour. You don't want to lose it by doing something inside the 10-yard line. That's why I kind of said take your victory for the first half and just go in. So 15 seconds ago, maybe they go long, but you got to be careful.
If you're Aliquippa, you're probably playing some kind of cover defense where you're running 3 deep.
You're watching that quarterback.
Right now they look as though they're set up for a
3 guys deep.
3 guys deep on the near side. They have some coverage over here, and they're going to quick slant. No pass interference. No pass interference. Wow. Dom Barron was taken down onto the field, and they decided that wasn't a penalty.
I'm a little surprised at that as well. But, boy, if he catches that and breaks a tackle, it's see you later. But can he outrun the DB? That's the question. You got single coverage. Interesting.
12 seconds to go until halftime. And you may have been able to hear the coaching staff. We are right next to the coaching staff from Montour. They saw that, and they were looking for a call. And a handoff. Halajo has it, splits the gap up the middle, 30-yard line, and trying to get as many yards as he can get. But the more he's trying, the more the clock is running down, and they're going to call him down at the 36 with 1 second left to go. And I think they called timeout. And here comes a flag.
I don't know who that's going to be
Coach
against.
Warfield ran out onto the field to try to get his players back. And there's a flag, and a couple of other players are trying to encourage yet another to back up.
If that is unsportsmanlike conduct against Aliquippa, that's going to put the ball at the
right around the 47,
45, 47.
Well, depending upon where the foul was, wherever the foul was,
right
you
about the
can't
40.
move the ball beyond where it was stopped.
That's what I'm saying.
So you're moving at 15 yards. Maybe you're going to get to the 47.
You're going to go from where it was stopped. Yeah.
Personal foul. So the ball's on the 38 now. And so that'll move it to, the 40?
15, that's going to 47 of Aliquippa. Now you got one. They're going to reset the clock, too? No? I thought but now, there's another flag.
Oh, my goodness. Somebody said something. And now here comes another flag.
They put 4 seconds back on the clock.
Oh, my goodness.
Players, see, that's the thing. You got to be.
There was a referee on the near side at the hash mark who must have heard an Aliquippa player say something.
Or coach. We saw that last week, too. We saw that again. We saw the Elwood City coach do the same thing.
And now there's going to be another unsportsmanlike penalty.
The first one. Okay, there's the first one. To the 47. You were right. Now another one. We're just going to put this ball down.
Are they going to move the...
they're going to bat it about the 32-yard line.
Yes. And so here's the advantage of not taking the knee and letting the clock run out. Now you're at the 32.
I stand corrected.
How about this? I was talking to Coach Cerro, and Coach Cerro says Medvitz, he trusts him from about 35. He feels as though he can make it. Medvitz thinks he can do it from 35.
That's about 32, 42. That's a 47-yarder. I don't know if he's good enough from there.
It's too far from this point.
I'm getting some shakes of the heads from the coaches next to me.
No, you're not going to try
Now the question is, do you have a play drawn up that you can get a touchdown here? That's the question. And can your quarterback make that throw?
Yeah, I mean, this would be almost a 49-yarder.
Protect him from here?
So you got 4 wide receivers set, 2 wide to the top, 2 to the bottom, and a timeout. Final timeout by Aliquippa on this one.
So, if you're
Hopefully
Montour,
nobody says anything as they're walking over to the bench for the timeout.
If you're Montour, the number one thing is you have to give your quarterback time to throw the ball. They pretty much have it all night long. They've got to him after 3 or 4 seconds. So, does he have enough time to run there, and do your guys have enough? What's your play? You got a guy running to the end zone on the left side. You got a guy running a post route. You got a guy maybe down to the 5-yard line. Maybe you hope for interference, but you've got to hit close to the end zone, because if you don't, time's going to run out.
Right.
Because the time will run out. Even if he gets a first down, it doesn't matter. Time will be gone unless there's a penalty. But you've got to get it to the end zone. So I don't think they're going to throw it up where it's going to be a Hail Mary, but you've got to get at least 2 or 3 of your guys to the end zone, and you've got to protect them. So we'll see if they protect them. That's going to be the main thing coming up here.
Back to pass, looking, pressure is coming. Takoa Gilbert off the edge, and they're able to sack him.
Told you.
Longmire, his back is fine. He came back in, he got the sack, and now we're at halftime. Aliquippa up 7-0 going into half, and we're going to try to get Derek with a quick conversation with the head coach.
Yeah, we'll watch for
the Montour Spartans.
I looked.
Lucero.
2 Spartans in the end zone, but they didn't hold on to him. They didn't block for him for more than 4 seconds. He was in big trouble. Big key, Aliquippa's defensive line. The defensive line beat the offensive line.
And one of the concerns that Montour has is this offensive line. There's only 2 returning starters from last year. And so you have a number of young guys that are just, they're working to gel themselves together.
You see Derek?
And haven't been able to completely do that yet. Yeah, he's around the 20-yard line.
Derek, you got to go to him, buddy.
Yeah. Go and get Coach Cerro, and we'll go ahead and do this interview. 7-0 Aliquippa on top of the Spartans, and a decision by the coach to go ahead and do what he could to move this football down the field with just under a minute to go. In fact, under 30 seconds to go. And
Derek, you got to
did a really good job.
Uh-oh.
All right, so.
Hold on.
Oh, he's still not over there yet. That's why. He's still on the other side of the field.
He's having conversations with other coaching staff members.
Yeah, Derek will get him. I'm confident in Mr. Rossiter. You know, replacing Tank is a big venture, but Derek's done a pretty good job so far. He did a good job last year.
I'm interested in seeing what Coach Cerro thinks about how things have progressed this half, and especially that last 30 seconds or so. We now go down to Derek on the sideline with Coach.
He's in the cart. He's in the golf cart.
Oh, he's already inside? All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, though. I'll tell you what, we'll go ahead and start our Al's Pizza halftime show. Before we do that, Derek, what did you make of what took place on those 2 penalties, unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, that moved the ball 30 yards for Montour?
Sorry, I had a little trouble hearing you. Can you repeat that?
What's your understanding of what took place exactly regarding the penalties that moved the ball 30 yards against Aliquippa to benefit Montour?
Yeah, you were right on the second part of that. Your second part of that penalty, that personal foul penalty, was a player on the sideline made a comment.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much, Derek. All right, it's halftime, the Al's Pizza halftime show. We will have a complete recap of what took place in the first half of this game. We'll look at scores from around Beaver County. Also, see how our projections are going for the CCBC Player of the Game, and a whole lot more coming up on Beaver County Radio.
If the black and gold can get a new quarterback every year, maybe you can switch teams too. This is Coach Andy Dangle from Freedom United Federal Credit Union. I'm looking for new free agents, or should I say, members. Our membership is open to many organizations and groups throughout the county. Join my team at Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Details and applications are available now. Visit Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Has your smile recently been intercepted by a bad cavity, stains, or damage that's been driving you crazy? Don't worry. Dr. Timothy Lip in Lip Dentistry is the Hail Mary your teeth have been needing. Located in Beaver Falls and Robinson Township, Lip Dentistry has been a trusted business for families in the greater Pittsburgh area to touch down at for over 2 decades. Make sure to rush over to lipdentistry.com and register for an appointment today and get 25% off your first cleaning. Don't fumble the opportunity to make Lip Dentistry your office of the future and make an appointment today.
Got kids? Too much to do? No time to cook? Download the McDonald's app today and get dinner delivered straight to your door from DoorDash. McDonald's makes it easy for you and your family. Download the app today and get exclusive deals and rewards. McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Hey you, looking to finally wrap up that big project but can't find that last tool you need to get the job done? Go to D&G Rentals. D&G Rentals of Beaver Falls is the multi-tool of Northwest Pittsburgh in finding equipment rentals of all kinds. Whether it's renting a straight head grinder for a week or a circular saw for a few hours, D&G has you covered with everything you need for bargain prices. Visit D&G Rentals in Beaver Falls today and indulge in the most complete equipment rental store Northwest Pittsburgh has to offer.
Lace up your cleats and rush on over to Zuki Sports Tavern. From their award-winning wings to their wide selection of ice-cold beverages, Zuki's is the place to go to watch your favorite team. Zuki's also has a plethora of salads, wraps, burgers, appetizers, and more. Don't want to leave and miss the action? Order online at Zukis.com/order. So what are you waiting for? Visit Zuki Sports Tavern in Fallston today. Zuki Sports Tavern, big screens, bigger flavor. Stop by today and make your game day count.
Before and after school care will now be provided at the Beaver County YMCA for students enrolled in the New Brighton and Rochester school districts. Children in this program have the chance to do homework, make friends, and have fun. We're also excited to introduce Preschool Light, designed to help children learn through socialization, art, language development, and much more. For more information, please visit our website, www.beavercountymca.org.
You're tuned in to 2025 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's game is being brought to you by the Lisa and Tank Latham team at eXp Realty, the YMCA, Patriot Home Care, All Access Automotive, Fry Transportation, Vape and Roll With It, Electric Garage Door Sales, Al's Corner, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, McDonald's, Moon Auto, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, CCBC, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, Al's Pizza, Tri-State Sporting Arms, Drug-Free Aliquippa, McGee Heating and Air Conditioning, St. Barnabas, the William Murphy Funeral Home, the Cornerstone of Beaver County, Zuki's Sports Bar, Johnson Heating and Air Conditioning, GNU's Body Works, J. Young Refuse, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home, S.E. Snyder Insurance, D&G Rentals, and Beaver County Radio.
And we are back 7-0 Aliquippa on top of Montour, and it could easily be a 21-0 game.
Could be.
But Montour, a couple of very key interceptions and at very important times, and able to keep Aliquippa from being able to score any more than the 7. And then Montour having their own opportunities to be able to put points on the board, but just not able to accomplish that. And so there's an aspect to where Montour has to feel pretty good about themselves that they're only down 7-0, and then Aliquippa thinking, this game should be in hand already.
Yeah, this is one of these games that's an either-or thing. Of course, Quip doesn't turn the ball over twice. It's probably at least 14-0, maybe 21-0, but Montour made the big plays. I think the offensive line has been better for Aliquippa. I think the defense has been a little bit better for Aliquippa. Aliquippa's the better team so far by a little bit. But, if Montour can figure some things out, they've had a couple of nice long drives. They've moved the ball against Aliquippa. They haven't figured a way to move the ball to score. Only being down one touchdown now, Quip gets the ball back. Montour's got to play that solid D. They're still in this game, but you can't constantly rely on your defense on the road against a good team like Aliquippa to keep making those big plays. Aliquippa's had the bigger of the plays, but Montour's still in this game. I mean, and for a while there in the first half, I thought, it's 7-0, and it could have been out of hand. But Lucero and his staff, They know what they're doing. I've talked to Lou many times over the years. They kind of knew they were going to have a good year last year, which they did, and then they lost at Aliquippa at home, and then they lost in the playoff game. So it didn't go quite what they wanted last year. Lost a lot of players, and now he's working with a whole new group of kids. As you said, probably maybe a little above where they should be, but they're playing pretty well against this Quip team now.
Yes, they are.
But Quip's a good second-half team. We'll see what happens in the second half. But the first half's been a lot of good defense. But the biggest key is the defensive line for Aliquippa. They've gotten pressure on the quarterback, Bennett, so many times. The last play of the game, he had 3 seconds and he was swarmed. So they're not blocking very well on the offensive line, pass blocking, and that's got to change if they want to come back here.
Yeah, you have a guy like Longmire. He's been around for a long time. So has J.J. Work, Takoa Gilbert, another one. They're just putting up too much pressure when they bring the blitz packages. And then you have a Boykin, Starks, Green, and Ellerby that are doing a fantastic job basically on that defensive line and bringing some pressure all by themselves. That was one of the big question marks at the beginning of this game. Will this young offensive line for Montour be able to hold up? Even though there were penalties that were very costly at the end of the half, it ultimately did not cost them points. And you worry about penalties during a course of a game, especially when you get later into the season. But that one holding penalty, it's just from a guy trying to play football just a little too aggressively that was able to wave off that penalty, that touchdown that Khalil Good had.
I agree. And, the thing is that I said this earlier in the game, and Thomas Jefferson, not as good as they usually are. Trinity's a little better. Bell Vernon might not make the playoffs. There are a lot of teams in 4A down or they've come back to the pack. And then your Montours, your West A's, everybody has lost good players, and Newcastle has ascended further than people thought. So it's really jumbled the pack. So this Aliquippa team is good enough. They've beaten 5A teams. They've beaten non-conference 4A. They've beaten other non-conference teams. I know people who think, Aliquippa might not be able to, get to the promised land and do what they're talking about doing. But, they might not get there. I think people don't realize this Aliquippa team's good enough to get there. They're just not beating up on teams, and so people aren't used to seeing these close games with Aliquippa, but they're winning games.
Yeah, and it's not about the program. It's not about the coaching staff. And what's that old saying goes? It's a whole lot more. What matters more is a whole lot more about the Jimmies and the Joes and the X's and the O's.
Exactly.
If you've got the kids to play, then you're going to be able to have a great team. But if you just go through a little bit of a down cycle where you have some younger kids that just aren't experienced enough to be able to step up quickly enough, you're going to have that.
People get so used to you going 11-0, 12-0, and then getting to the championship game.
Yes.
Now you lose to an Avonworth. There's no shame in that. You lose to a Newcastle. There's no shame in that. So you're losing to good teams. You're not as good as you used to be, but you're still as good as most of the other teams in 4A. I still think Aliquippa is one of the top teams. They're going to be one of the top outs. With Khalil Good in there at quarterback, the way he runs, the way they run, he just can't turn the ball over when you get to the playoffs against the better teams. Will they go far? I don't know, but I would never count this team out.
And let's not forget, you're talking about a school that is, a 1A, 2A school at the very most when it comes to enrollment. And they're playing 2, maybe 3 classifications up already to a 4A, and they're able to hold their own. And give me another school that can do that.
And, here's the thing. If they don't win this year, they may get knocked back down to 3A. If that happens, and nobody else moves up, it could be them, Hopewell, Avonworth, Central Valley, Beaver, all in the same conference. That would really be fun next year if that happens.
Stick around. Coming up, the Fried Transportation Update Desk. We'll also get an update from Joe from Boom Pound DIY Solar on the Central Valley and Hopewell game. Do we happen to have that update available to us now?
Yep.
I'll tell you what, how about if we do this right now? We'll go check in with Joe, get the latest from Central Valley and Hopewell.
Hey, thanks, Mike and Mangino. The second quarter started with the Warriors pushing the ball into Hopewell territory as Ethan Scher scores a touchdown running from 12 yards out. Kick was good, 10-0, Central on top. Armstrong and Wade connected with a hookup on a hook and lateral for 30 as Hopewell's moving again. Boo Boo Armstrong connects to Avery Bokar for 25 yards. It was then 4th and goal, but Central holds Hopewell, playing the Warriors tough. But Hopewell's unable to get on the board. With 2:52 in the second, Central takes a chance on 4th down and 1 from their 12-yard line. Yeah, from their 12-yard line, they go for it on 4th and 1. And Ambrose, quarterback sneak, first down, super gutsy play. The Hopewell fans thought that he didn't get it, but the refs say first down. Clock moving fast with 1:14 in the second. Armstrong throws an interception to Ethan Bosco. Ethan Bosco, deep in Hopewell territory, scores, and the half right now is 13-0. Central Valley on top. These guys from Central are looking pretty strong right now.
Hey, listen, I want to let you know I'm Boom Pow DIY Solar. I'm A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. I sell a lot of solar. I'm saving people a fortune off their electricity bill. 0% escalators. Last week I saved a customer was paying over $600 a month. I got their bill to $500. I'm saving that customer over $100,000. The price will never go up, and eventually that price would go away. Give me a call at 1-844-BOOM-POW. Remember, I am the superhero of energy savings. I'm looking to help you, save you, and get you to own your own energy. Thank you so much. Back to Mike and Mangino. Right, once again, 13-0, Central on top of Hopewell right now.
And we're looking at the Fry Transportation Update Desk. How about Newcastle all over Ambridge, 28-7. That's at halftime.
No surprise. Ambridge just limping into the rest of the year.
And even though New Brighton took the early lead 8-0, Western Beaver bouncing back, 2 quick scores. They're up 14-8.
You know, boy, New Brighton still, if they lose this, if they win next week, we're going to have to figure it all out. But they still have a shot at a wild card spot.
Southside on top of Laurel, 7-3. Latest score we have there, still in the first.
Again, you know, Southside, they don't give up a lot of points. They don't score a ton. It wasn't like it was 2 years ago. Still effective, still good, still one of the best teams in single way. And if they can win twice on the road, Shannock last week, Laurel this week, they were tied with those two teams. Now it's them and Laurel tied. The winner of this wins the conference.
We'll come back with more of the Al's Pizza halftime show coming up in a moment on Beaver County Radio.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers at Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Dial 724-774-3200 and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors, LiftMaster garage door openers, and over 50 years experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Electric Garage Door Sales. Give them a call at 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com. Patriot Home Care is now hiring caregivers. Are you a caring and compassionate individual looking for a reliable income with benefits? Then call Patriot Home Care today. Benefits include health insurance, life insurance, paid vacation after 1 year, and 1.5 times hourly pay for overtime plus holiday hours. Patriot Home Care employees provide personal care, conversation and companionship, medication reminders, light housekeeping and laundry, meal preparation, and errands. Start your career in home care today and call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or apply online at patriothomecare.org.
Hello, this is Alan Bross, General Manager at Moon Township Ford. Just like a good football team is trained to win, our goal is to win you over with our own team of experienced professionals equipped with what it takes to make your dreams of a new car come true. So if you haven't visited us for a while, come over and see what we have to offer. Or visit our exciting selection of cars and trucks online. Find out why people keep running back to Moon Township Ford. Belconi's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
A lot has changed since 1885. That's when my great-grandfather, William Andrew Hartzell, opened the doors to our family-owned and operated funeral home. This is William F. Rick Murphy from the William Murphy Funeral Home, Incorporated in Rochester. Together with my son, Brian C. Murphy, we represent a business that is now flourishing into its 5th generation. Throughout that time, we've had the pleasure of experiencing many of local memories that have made Rochester and the surrounding area so great. I'll bet many of you can easily recall the H.C. Fry Glassworks, Barnett's Bootery, or even Kaufman's Department Store with its massive double-decker parking lot.
To put things in perspective, my family was already serving others at their time of need before the automobile had even been invented and the aforementioned businesses started and ended. Our commitment to serve our community with dignity and compassion has allowed the William Murphy Funeral Home, Inc. to preserve a business legacy that spans nearly 140 years, and we're still here. To contact us, visit our website at William Murphy Funeral Home, Inc. or call 724-775-0309.
We are just about 3 minutes or so away from the second half kickoff, and Aliquippa deciding at the beginning at the coin toss to defer, and so they are going to take this, and now up 7-0, and they could really be in a great position if they would be able to convert that last drive. Under 2 minutes to go to be able to get that touchdown that was waved off because of a holding penalty. Next thing you know, you come back and you score again, and things are going really well for you. But still at this point, both of these teams, I would guess, have to treat this as though it's a 0-0 game.
Yeah.
And just come out there, do what you do, stick with the game plan, and make some tweaks and adjustments at the offense and defensive lines and see what can happen.
If Aliquippa comes down and scores, I think it's going to be real tough for Montour to come back because likely the way this game's going and the way both offenses are, you're only going to get the ball 3, maybe 4 times. If Aliquippa doesn't turn the ball over, they come down and score at least once, I think it's going to be their game. But obviously the big key is Montour. They have to stop them. And then they've got to find a way on offense to protect their quarterback because you can't just rely on those runs by him to the left. Aliquippa's given up some yardage, but if they can't protect him to pass, he's not going to be able to make any long passes. He hasn't all night, and they missed a good chance at the end of the half. So, to me, this is Aliquippa's game to lose. If they don't make any mistakes and they keep running their offense like they are, I likely see them winning this game, 21-7, maybe 21-14, something like that. But Montour's got to protect their quarterback, and it's the line play. They've got to do better on the line because if they can't, Aliquippa's going to keep coming after him. If they keep coming after him, look out. That's going to be a big problem for Montour.
Let's go down to Derek on the sideline for a moment. Derek, talking about CCBC players of the game, any adjustments for you on who you like the most?
Actually, if you got Coach Warfield here, if you would like me to answer that.
Go ahead.
Coach, how you doing? Just wanted to see what was your message to your team going to the locker room here after in the first half.
Just maintain our composure and continue to do what we're doing. Those couple penalties at the end, they were just, emotions going on. So I'm not too much worried about that. But, when we get in the red zone, we got to punch it in.
Exceptions in the first half there. What was the message to Khalil to motivate him to keep steady in the second?
Nothing. He's doing good. He's doing well. He's doing exactly what we need him to do. So those are interceptions, but I'm not too much worried about it.
Awesome, Coach. Have a good second half. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Derek. Do appreciate that. So when it comes to the CCBC players of the game, what do you think at this point? Any adjustments for you?
I still like work. He's done well, but, it's kind of hard. Right now Khalil's got 2 interceptions, but he's been their best player. And there's also something to be said about some guys on defense, so I'm wavering on my guy. And as for Montour, their number one guy is their quarterback, in my opinion. I'm not going to waver from him right now.
All right. I see where you're coming from. On offense, I'm still feeling good about my pick in Akiva Woods.
Yeah. He's
picked up some really good plays. You got to give it up to work for what he did on that big bust-out play to start the drive in the first half. But he's doing really, really well. And Takoa Gilbert looking really good, too, on the defensive side of things. Couple of sacks, strip sack for a fumble. And, Derek, when you look at these guys for CCBC player of the game possibilities, well, what are you thinking at this point? Are you still sticking with those original 2?
Yeah, I'm still holding strong on my picks. Khalil's, had a couple good bad passes there, those interceptions, but he's got to lead this team down. His first start at quarterback, I think I'm sticking with him.
I think he's sneaking over there to see if he can get at least Lucero since we missed him at the half.
Yep.
And Derek, he's doing yeoman's work. We got people coming past us.
Okay, even if you can't get him on microphone, on air live, just see if you can talk to him, ask him a couple of questions, and we'll come back to you later in the third quarter to be able to go over that, okay?
You got it, bud.
Thank you very much. Derek Rossiter down on the sideline with updates for us throughout the course of this game. Aliquippa up 7-0. We'll come back with the kickoff in just a couple of minutes.
What if you could meet the future you? The one with the degree, the dream job, the confidence. This fall at Community College of Beaver County, step up to the mirror and see what's possible. Whether you're fresh out of high school, changing careers, or returning to finish what you started, every class and campus experience brings you closer to who you're meant to be. See your future. Start it here at CCBC. Visit ccbc.edu/fall25.
Tri-State Sporting Arms on Main Street in New Brighton is now open. Stop in and explore their extensive selection of high-quality firearms, pistols, and accessories. Tri-State Sporting Arms also pays top dollar for used firearms. Their experienced and highly trained staff is here to assist you in selecting the right firearm for you. Stop on down to Beaver County's newest firearm store, Tri-State Sporting Arms, at 807 3rd Avenue, New Brighton, or check them out on Facebook.
In Beaver County, there are many great stories to tell. One such worthy story is that of the drug-free Aliquippa program. Now in its 4th year, the project has enjoyed great success through in-school interaction, education, raising awareness, and data analysis. Drug-free Aliquippa has a mission to help local youth make better decisions regarding alcohol and drug use. For more information or to find out how you can get involved, visit Drug Free Aliquippa on Facebook.
And we're back, and one score that we haven't mentioned so far tonight, Beaver Falls, Riverside. What's the score do you have on that, Mike?
I had, hold on a second. I believe it was 14-6. Beaver Falls over Riverside at the half. Everybody's asking me up here if we have a West Allegheny score. I don't see anything on those.
I don't see anything on West Allegheny either, no.
And nobody has a score on West A Blackhawk yet. We'll try.
Absolutely.
We're looking for Derek. I'm watching him. Oh, he's with Lou. He's talking to Lou right now.
Wonderful. All right, let him go ahead and talk to Lou. We'll come back. We'll go down and check in with him in a moment and find out what he has in his conversation with Lou. So coming out of the second half, Aliquippa gets the ball first. Montour, do you feel like in order to make a statement here that they need a quick 3 and out, don't give up any more than half the field at this point?
Yeah, I think so, because if you let Aliquippa drive down deep and then you have to go 80 yards to score, that's going to take a lot out of you. I think they need to really stop them early. They've had 2 turnovers that they didn't, they made long drives, but Quips defense is just good enough. This is a Quip team we've seen all year long. Score a little bit, have their defense hold on, and then hold on to the end. They're not dominant like they used to be, but they're good enough to beat everybody. The question is, can Montour defensively stop them here? Because if they don't, it could be a long second half.
All right, setting for the kickoff, Montour from right to left, Aliquippa from left to right. Let's check in with Derek on the sideline. Derek, what did you learn in your conversation with Coach Cerro?
They need to capitalize on those takeaways that they had. He talked to the team that we need to make some moves, and we get those turnovers are big, but we got to be able to capitalize on all those. Excuse me. Players were pretty positive in the locker room that the score is what it is. They were going to come out here and try to make a stand on defense to change this momentum and try to get down the field on the score, make a big stop here in the second half.
Thank you very much. To appreciate that. And yeah, they're right in this game. It isn't as though they're trying to figure out how to dig out of a hole.
It's a winnable game for Montour.
Here's the kickoff. It is a short kick, hits the ground around the 25-yard line, able to get it up and off to the races. He goes out to the 35 and finally taken down right around the 36, maybe the 37-yard line. Josh Lay picks it up and runs it out, and now Aliquippa has it. 1st and 10. They're going to call it at the 36. Ball's on the far hash mark. For those of you who are listening on the radio, once again, left to right, Aliquippa, all black uniforms and white numerals. Montour, yellow pants along with the white shirt and the dark numerals. And for those of you who are watching, don't forget you can watch on YouTube and on Facebook. Just look up Beaver County Radio. Twin wide receivers to the near side, ball on the far hash mark. Khalil good, and here comes a flag. Motion on Aliquippa will back them up 5 yards to get things started.
I was going to say, this Montour team, they beat Central Valley. They lost to Moon. They beat Trinity. That's 2 playoff teams they beat. And then beat Knock. They were 3-1, lost a tough one to Mars non-section, beat Blackhawk like they should have, got beat up a little bit by Newcastle, beat Ambridge, and so this is a game where it's an equal, they feel, and it's a big game for them. And next week as well against West Allegheny, winnable games.
Single coverage on the near side, instead a handoff. Work has it, able to get what looks to be about a yard, maybe 2 at the most. And nice stop by Montour to be able to clog up that hole.
Except for that one long run of about 40 yards by Work. They've done a great job up the middle, stopping the run. But except for when Khalil Good has the ball. They're not shadowing him. They don't have anybody watching him. And you know that Aliquippa is going to run him as soon as they have a chance.
Montour trusting their defensive back. Single coverage over here on the near side once again. Twin wide receivers. Good takes it, hands it off to Work over the left side. And Montour able to get a stop after a pickup of maybe another yard. So it looks as though Montour really selling out to stop the run and allowing their defensive backs to live on an island.
So now, third down and 9. And I don't know if you're in 4-down territory, if you're Quip here. I don't think that's gutsy enough to go for it on 4th down if you don't make it here. But now you got to figure, here's where you have to watch good back for the pass, receivers going down, where they got everybody out wide, and then him running up the middle. To me, that's a play they've used a couple times to success, and we'll see if they do it again.
4 wide receivers wide, and the ball's on the ground. And it was recovered by Aliquippa immediately, but a loss of 2 and now a 4th and 11. Montour needed a 3 and out, and it looks as though they're going to get it.
You're going to have to punt here. I don't know who punts for them, but this is big for Montour.
Avery Coleman has been doing most of the punting duties. Avery's averaging about 33 yards a punt so far.
This is big. This is really big for Montour. You stop them on your first drive. That was an advantage to Quip. You're going to get the ball, and you're only down 1 score. So right now, momentum towards Montour. We'll see what happens on this punt, though.
Montour runs 2 men deep to return, Don Barron and Xander Stern. Barron's averaging about 18-7, and Xander Stern 27-6. The kick is not away.
Well, I think it's against Aliquippa again, because here's what happened. They had a guy come on the field late. Yep, procedure against Aliquippa. He came on late and moved the guy on the line, and then there's some confusion. Now he's coming off. Now he's going right back on. Now he's coming off again. So I don't know what they got going on there. They might have had too many men on the field.
So now it's 4th and 16 from their own 30. And back punt, Avery Coleman has it, kicks it away. It's a low line driver taking it to 40, and he's off to the races. 50, 45, 40 to the sideline, and inside the 40-yard line. Nice return by Xander Stern to set up Montour.
Here's the thing. Aliquippa and Warfield and everybody can talk all they want about penalties, but penalties like that hurt you. They hurt you because now you're 5 yards back. You gave them a little bit of momentum. You keep having penalties, you're eventually going to pay for that kind of stuff. Now Montour has their best field position all night long. You got to score here. You got to at least put points on the board, move the ball, prove you can move it against a good team, see what happens.
And so Montour coming out, balls on the near hash mark. Once again, going from right to left for those of you who are on the radio. Bennett, shotgun, running backs on both sides. Hands it off over that right side and taken down around the 35-yard line. Archie Collins on the run.
And that's smart. And here's another thing I think, and I don't know if they'll change, but remember, when they go and pass, they put everybody out wide, 3 guys wide, and he doesn't have a lot of blockers. I think they'd be better off passing from a formation. We only have a couple of receivers out there, and you've got guys blocking to give him more time. That's got to be something you got to think about.
3 wide receivers, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Ball right in the middle between the hash marks. Fakes the handoff to Helledger. And a quick pass and touchdown, Montour. What a route. Brandon Bennett to Xander Stern for the touchdown. He ran a quick little skinny post and was able to get open, and he threw a dart at him. Touchdown, Montour. The perfect start from Montour to this second half.
Perfect pass. He had a step on the receiver on the inside. You fake right. You get him the bite to go out to the sideline. You cut to the post. As long as that ball's there, he had him. He was close to getting taken down, but you can't take a guy down by his arms. We're a kick away from being tied.
Medved's set for the kick. Here comes the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and the kick is good. It's all tied up at 7 with 8:42 here at Heinz Field. The kickoff in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
If you or someone you know is experiencing homelessness or a housing-related crisis in Beaver County, help is just a call away. The Cornerstone of Beaver County provides a pathway home through emergency shelter, housing and utility assistance, and basic needs. To access help or to support the Cornerstone of Beaver County's work to ensure housing and hope for everyone in our community, visit cornerstonebeaver.org or call 724-846-6400.
And we're back all tied up at 7 at Aliquippa, and Montour able to get the quick stop for Aliquippa on defense and then turn around, and within a couple of plays, a great call on the play action with a skinny post route, able to cut it inside, didn't have to hold on to the ball very long whatsoever, and didn't give the Aliquippa pass rush any time to be able to get to Bennett, and a quick hit. He broke a tackle and then was off for 6. And Montour has to be feeling fantastic with where they are
Nothing
right now.
could have been. That is the perfect scenario for them. Stop them, 3 and out. Then you go on offense, and you didn't throw the ball downfield that much.
The kick is deep. Lay takes it at the 9. Coming back to the near side, here comes a flag. He's off, and he'll be down at the 26, but there are 2 flags, one at the 14 and one at the 16. It looks as though it's going to go against Aliquippa.
That's probably, maybe. I thought maybe a block in the back, but you know what? I mean, the perfect pass by Bennett. It looked like Boomer Esiason down there, Michael Vick. I mean, think about it. He does look like Vic. I mean, beautiful pass, left-handed, down the middle, perfect pass, and it was just a question if he beats the DB. They're moving. I think they're moving. Yeah, it is against Quip. Okay, so blocking. Yeah, it's holding against Quip. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. So this turns things around now for Montour. Now you're going to start inside your own 10. If you don't move the ball here, and they have another defensive stance, you get the ball likely inside their territory.
Yes.
It's a big possession for the Quips.
Montour once again running an island out here on the cornerback. Nice run up the middle, though, for Aliquippa. Pickup of about 5, maybe 6 yards on that play, giving Aliquippa some room that was starting off back at their own 8-yard line. Nice dive play to kind of move the pile.
So here's the importance of this game. Quip likely makes the playoffs even if they lose it, because they got to play Ambridge next week, but they likely don't get a home playoff game. If you win and you finish second in the conference, then you do, likely.
Everybody in tight from Montour trying to stop that run for the first down. It looks as though they're going to be a little bit short. This will set up a 3rd and what looks to be about 1 for Aliquippa.
And if you're Montour, you win this game, even if you lose to a rival next week in West A, you might get that 3rd wild card in this conference over West A. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens after next week's games.
Aliquippa, everybody in tight, full house backfield, 2 fullbacks and a tailback. Hands it off to the fullback, and it looks as though Longmire may have gotten it, but also a penalty. Montour is saying, listen, that's a holding penalty. Back him up 10 yards. We'll see what the penalty flag ultimately is. Aliquippa players are backing themselves up.
Yeah.
Here comes the official call from the referee.
You're right.
Holding against the offense. So what was a first down pickup from a 3rd and 1, now all of a sudden backs them up 10 yards, and now it's a 3rd and 11 from your own 7. Oh, they're going to call it they're going to back it up from where the hole was, and they're going to say it's now a 3rd and 10 from just inside the 9-yard line.
This 3rd quarter, almost halfway through, and everything has gone perfect for Montour so far.
And now Aliquippa, 3 wide receivers wide. Defense is set. Are they going to run it again out of this formation? Khalil Good, wide receiver screen, and not able to make the connection. He tried to hit Josh Lay on a quick wide receiver screen, and it fell to the ground. So now Aliquippa set the punt from their own 9-yard line. 9-yard line. So the punter is going to be back in his own end zone. Avery Coleman set there, and then the returners as close as their own as the Aliquippa 40.
It's a huge possession. And, even if Lay catches up all, there were 3 Montour players there. Nobody for Quip to block. He'd have got tackled likely with it. Unless he breaks 3 tackles, that would not have gone for a first down. This is a big play here.
And it blocked. That blocked and covered in the end zone for a touchdown. Wow. Number 1 for Montour with the play. Dylan Rogers. He's the starting tight end for Montour on offense, and he came off the edge on special teams. It was a high snap, kind of an arching snap. It took his time to get back to Coleman. Coleman went to kick it, and Rogers was there. Perfect timing, just put his hands out, blocked that kick.
I mean, as soon as I saw that punt, that ball come up to his face, and he hesitated for a second, on the right side of I saw a guy from Montour coming, and I thought, uh-oh, he might not get this off. And then the coaches next to us, you could see their anticipation. They saw what I was seeing, block punt, perfect call up. And now, Aliquippa offsides.
Now, this is going to be an interesting setup because now you're half the distance to the goal. Do you go for 2 here?
Yeah, tough question. They might. They're talking about it.
What do you do? Okay, right.
It looks like they got guys ready to come on.
Yeah, it looks as though Bennett's talking to the coach right now. Brandon Bennett, the quarterback, is talking to the coach.
They're pulling them back.
Yes, they are. They're going to go ahead and be happy with the point after touch and make this a 7-point game. We'll see. Snap, hold, kick, up. And the kick is no good.
Oh, boy.
Wide to the left, 13-7. Montour, 13 unanswered points to start the third quarter. Back in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
Not to be cheesy or anything, but Al's Pizza of Beaver County has deals, specials, and delicious options that'll blow your mind. Try Al's Deep Dish, a mouth-watering pie loaded with 2 pounds of cheese and Al's renowned pizza sauce. Looking to feed the whole fam? Al's Dinner Box with a half tray of 1-topping Sicilian pizza and a half tray of cheesy breadsticks is perfect for your family dinner tonight. Even if pizza isn't your thing, stop in and try the delicious Granny Franny Meatball Sub. Delivery from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Order today or stop in at Al's and try the best pizza pies Beaver County has to offer.
Maybe Dylan Rogers should be considered for CCBC Player of the Game. You block a punt, you covered in the end zone for a touchdown. That's a big-time play.
Yeah, it is. You know something, I mean, so much can happen in a football game, but big keys, you have to stop them on their first drive. They did that. They started with a good punt return. They moved the ball down the field. They score on a big play. Remember I said you have to have big plays. Big punt return and a big pass play.
We are hearing the crowd cheer because the Montour visiting section is extremely loud right now. That was all the cheering that you were hearing because Montour players are kind of like waving at them. Let's hear you. Let's hear you. And
I think that
the fans were willing to cooperate.
Counting the band from Montour and the fans from Montour, it's, I don't want to say 50-50, but there's a lot of open room over here for Quip. Maybe 40-60, but the Montour side's giving them, it's not like an away side anymore like it used to be.
Yeah, everybody's on the near side. So that kickoff was a kickoff out of bounds. So
smart.
They didn't big mistake for Montour that they were able. Now Aliquippa has it at the 35.
You know what? I mean, that's one of those things where you give up some yardage because you don't want to kick deep to Khalil Good. You don't want to kick it to the best player on the field because then next thing you know, you're tied. So make them earn it, and now your defense has to step up if you're Montour.
All right, here we go. Good shotgun, met on his hip. There's nobody out here covering a wide receiver. Khalil Good trying to find some room, and they stopped him for a gain of maybe 1 yard. Archie Collins coming up. Montour was in a really dangerous situation. I don't think Khalil Good saw it or didn't feel comfortable in calling an audible because they had 1 corner out here and 2 wide receivers.
I agree. They're still kind of, now they got him now, but interesting. He still got a yard, though.
Here comes the pass to the outside, and Montour played it perfectly. They drug him down for a loss of maybe a yard on that play. What they were thinking about doing was they had 2 guys out here by themselves, single coverage on each of them, but the wide receiver couldn't make a block that didn't catch the ball, and then the sprint to the sideline from the defense.
There's too many guys covering. I mean, that's the same play they used before they punted and didn't get any yards. They lost. Same thing, no gain.
4 wide receivers set, 2 and 2. 3rd and 9 for Aliquippa. Good with a man on his hip. Back to pass, looking, throws it to an out pattern, has it, and he's down inside the 45. It depends on where they decide to mark it. Are they going to give him the first down?
I don't know. One guy is at the 45, the other guy's at the 4. I don't think that's a first down, but they might have to measure.
Yep, they're calling it a first down. I just saw the guy who spots the ball, the umpire, the referee that spots the ball.
Boy, that's close.
Give them a first. It couldn't be any closer. Couldn't be any closer. Very good spot for Aliquippa.
You're giving him that 5 and 6 yard berth. All he has to do is run, turn around, the ball's there. It's a first down. You're not on him. The DBs are not covering him.
Single coverage, play up the middle, and a tackle from behind, gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards on that play. And that was a run by Aliquippa Woods to get that first down. Yardage of about 4 yards, setting up a 2nd and 6.
Now advantage to the Quips. Big first down, a lot of momentum towards Montour. Now you're moving the ball again, and if you're Montour, you need another stop. And again, you're not going to get the ball many more times. There's only 4.5 minutes to go, third quarter.
Toss to the outside. Kiva has it, gets to the edge, and taken down just outside the 40-yard line, down to the 42. Another big pickup for Aliquippa Woods.
Yep, another first down. They're moving the ball. They're getting good blocking on that play, on that sweep to the left. Very good play. And that's the kind of play USC used to run with O.J. Simpson and Marcus Allen, those guys back in the day. You just toss it out to a guy, you let him follow some blockers coming over there, and you just try to beat them, and he had enough room to get a first down.
Single coverage to the near side. Josh Lay and Archie Collins. This time it's Xander Stern. Handoff up the middle. Work this time up inside the 40-yard line. Pickup of about 2.
This is a big part. I mean, look at this. I mean, now Quips had the ball. Montour's only had it one time, and they've scored one time. I mean, likely if this drive keeps going, it might go into the fourth quarter. You might get it 2 more times. You got to play good defense here. You're up a score. It would really benefit them to stop them here on 2nd and 3rd down.
Single coverage on the outside. Montour otherwise, it's 10 guys in the box. Aliquippa hands it off. J.J. Work hit at the line of scrimmage, able to get a yard on that. Now we're looking at a 3rd and 7 from inside the 40. They're at the 39-yard line.
I got to tell you, Montour's defense playing pretty well, hitting the guys after a spot, after hitting them right at the line of scrimmage, not letting them get a big play. Now 3rd and 7. You got to figure Quips in 4-down territory here. I can't see them punting from here. They're going to have 2 chances to get 7 yards. I'd be surprised if they didn't run the ball twice here.
A lot, I would guess, would depend on what happens on this down. 3rd and 7 at the 39. Wide receiver, one to the top, one to the bottom. Khalil takes a quick slant. No. Oh, wow. He was running a seam route, and here comes the flag.
Oh, man. I don't know.
They
love
ran
to
a
see a replay on that.
For the fullback. Longmire was running up the hash marks, and he was covered by Halajo.
See if we can see a replay on that.
Here comes the replay. Fakes the handoff.
Does he grab him?
And it's awfully close.
Hands,
it's a bang play.
Hands
and I can
on
see
each other are one thing, but when you let one thing go, you got to let another thing go. And this one's for Aliquippa. It's a tough one. You can't say the DB was going for the ball, but did he impair him enough to not let him catch it? I couldn't see if he grabbed his arms or not. If you're grabbing the guy's arms, then you can't get him. His arms are free.
50 yards away, I have no idea. I would guess that the referee is
demonstrating
a little bit
on
closer.
our fine cameraman over here from Montour. I just think if you're not touching his arms, you kind of let that stuff go.
Everybody's in tight for Aliquippa. Handoff, J.J. Work. It's tackled at the line of scrimmage. He keeps on fighting, though. It takes 4 Montour Spartans to ultimately bring him down. He didn't pick up anything, but a lot of work to get nothing.
How about that the Aliquippa tried to play down the middle, same play that Montour did to score the touchdown. And if he catches that ball, he's likely inside the 20, 15-yard line, but he probably won't get a touchdown on it. But nice play, nice throw by Good, but it didn't work out. But it did work out for a first down because of the penalty.
And so now Aliquippa, 2:25 to go, running clock in the 3rd quarter, 2nd and 11. Ball at the 25, handoff, the Work, and he's able to get a couple of yards. He ran right into number 1, Dylan Rogers, who blocked the punt and got the touchdown. And now we're looking at 3rd and 8 from the 22.
And again, now if you're at Montour, what are they going to do? Quip could run again. You got 2 plays. Or try another pass play. Be ready for that. Or they haven't done it yet. Khalil Good up the middle because all the receivers go out. That's what I'm thinking they're going to do. But I think Montour is going to be ready for that. We'll see what they do here on defense. They're playing it tight like it's going to be a run.
Wide receivers, wide and wide. Man in motion, 2 tight ends to the right side. Khalil Good trying to follow the wide receiver in motion. And he's able to pick up a couple of yards to the 20. But that's it. He needs to get a whole lot further than that. He needs to get down to about the 14. So now it's 4th and 6 for Aliquippa. And you got to make a decision here.
Yeah,
do you trust Ronaldo Romero enough to be able to make it from here? This would be about a 37, 38-yard field goal.
I don't think they're going to try that.
And this would be a huge stop for Montour if they can get the stop on this 4th and 6.
I think if you're Aliquippa, you keep the ball in Khalil Good's hands. Option to decide. They're going to call a timeout.
Yes. Smart call. Let's talk this thing over. You're trailing by 6 in the 3rd quarter. You need to be able to convert this and not give Montour more momentum. We'll find out what he does in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
Searching for a sleek new ride without breaking the bank this summer? All Access Automotive next to the YMCA has you covered. With reliable service, easy financing, and an extensive list of inventory, All Access Automotive has become the premier spot in Beaver County to find your car of the future. Looking to trade in your current vehicle? All Access will give you a fair trade-in value. Browse the eye-catching All Access lot Monday through Saturday and talk to an All Access representative and learn more today. All Access Automotive, where reliability and transparency come before anything else.
13-7, Montour, 13 unanswered points after struggling so much in that first half and not being able to effectively move the ball, but were able to get a couple of key interceptions at very opportune times to keep Aliquippa from being able to score, keeping it a very close game. And then coming out in this 3rd quarter, big 3-and-out, then go and score a touchdown, then block the punt for a touchdown. And now Aliquippa looking for their opportunity to answer here. 4th and 6, and the ball's on Montour's 20-yard line. Good keeps it, throws it, tries to find a man open. Complete.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Longmire catches it at the 9.
He was wide open. Wide open. Let's see if we can see that again. He was wide open, Robert.
Yes, he was.
Came out of his running back position. Nobody covered him. That throw was low, and he just got his hands underneath it. Big play for the Quips.
That's one of the plays that's available to them if you're running those tight ends out. JJ trying to get to the outside. Montour trying to string it out. And they did it. His knee touch. It looked like his knee touch may be back at the 14.
Nah.
But they're saying no. He kept his balance, and they got him all the way down inside the 10.
I'm going back to 2 plays ago. Khalil Good, he rolled out to the right. They had work come from the running back position. Bingo. He's open for, 3 seconds. The throw was low, and he came up on it and made the catch. That is huge. Quip's still likely a playoff team, but you want to win here on your last game at home.
And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. We go to the 4th. Montour up 13-7. Aliquippa driving. They love coming back from behind in the 4th quarter. We'll see if they can do it on Beaver County Radio.
This is Cindy Heladio for Friendly Federal Credit Union with a sizzling update. Hot weather can be uncomfortable, especially when your air conditioning needs fixed. Hot deals, well, that's a different story, right? Friendly Federal Credit Union is offering hot deals on home equity loans. Now, about that air conditioning, beat the heat and get the money to fix the thing with a hot deal home equity loan at Friendly Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Now that the sights and sounds of summer are in your rearview mirror, there's still time to enjoy your classic car and turn heads. Restore your cherished ride to its former glory and call GNU's Body Works in Freedom. Gary Snare has been offering collision and restoration services for over 20 years. Everything from lowering or airbagging your rod to street custom to full custom color paint coloring. So say hello to cooler weather with the hottest car around. Call GNU's Body Works, 400 8th Street, Freedom today.
Coach Warfield listed Ray Miller and Khalil Good as both playing quarterback. We've yet to see Ray Miller in at quarterback tonight. It's been all Khalil Good.
I think he's doing a good enough job, Khalil is.
Yes, he is.
Now the question becomes, you got 12 minutes to go. You score here, you get the extra point. Now Aliquippa has to play the defense. That missed extra point could be the game.
Everybody's in tight for Aliquippa. Tight ends on either side, full house backfield. Handoff, this one, Longmire trying to bounce it outside, can't get there, taken down around the 5-yard line.
Yep, there's a penalty.
There's a
kick. He kicked him and stepped on him or something. I don't know exactly
There
what
is
happened.
a flag on the field around the 12-yard line. It looks as though it's going to back.
Khalil Ellerby was one of the guys involved.
Up.
Ellerby and
down on Justice Starks.
Caden Hellerzo. I think. I don't know. There was some pushing, shoving. I don't know exactly, but it was off away from the play right in front of the officials.
And that's against Montour.
Interesting. So they're going to call the first thing that happened, which he pushed him down, and then he got kicked by the other player, but they only called the one.
And now it's Aliquippa, second down. They're set just inside the 3-yard line near hash mark. Good under center, takes it, hands it off. Akiva Woods, touchdown. Akiva Woods, and now we're knotted up at 13.
All important extra point. See what happens.
Here's a flag on the play. Hold on a second. They're celebrating, but there's a flag on the play.
That's
back at the 10-yard line.
They're going over to talk to Lucero right now, so that indicates it's against Aliquippa.
Let's see what we have. Ball is marked for the extra point at the 3-yard line, and we're waiting for official word from the head referee.
Did it happen after the TD? Oh.
Okay.
So this happened after the touchdown.
Yes.
How much is it going to move back? This could really mess
Well, it's
things up.
unsportsmanlike, so it's going back 15 yards.
That means they're going to spot this ball at about the 17, 18-yard line.
Yes.
18.
And make them go for the conversion here.
18 to the 20. He's going to kick from the 25. This is in effect a 35-yard extra point, Robert. A penalty. Remember I said how things are going to cost you? They make it, they're up a point. They don't, you're tied.
Ronaldo Romero is really good. He has some nice range, and Warfield says he trusts him from this distance. It's up, and it's good. Wow. What an extra point kick. And what a decision that was made by Cerro, because he could have taken that on the kickoff and backed them up 15 yards on the kickoff, but instead...
What do you do there? I back them up on the extra point.
I would back them up on the kickoff. I would want to take the extra 15 yards that I could get for field position. So if I can normally get to the 30, I would like to be able to get that 15 yards.
It might determine this whole game. I just personally think that...
On a point.
On a point, but 35 yards. I know he can kick, but that's a long way and a lot of pressure on a high school kid.
Yeah, he had some range. He could have made it from 38, maybe 39.
But then again, a bad snap, a low kick, a kick to the right, a lot of things can happen.
But you only get a point out of it.
That's true.
This way...
But you're giving them an easy point, and now... I know what you're saying. You get better field position. I think Lou was counting on, let's take a chance this kid don't make it.
Right.
35 is a long way for an extra point for a high school kid. Unless he's good.
Unless you're the kicker at Hopewell. Then
Beaver, Central Valley, those guys.
Right.
Yeah. Either way, I think as a head coach, I see your point. You bring them back 15, then maybe you get the ball at the 40 instead of the 20, but, their offense is played pretty well.
Romero back to kick. He's set up on a 30-yard line. Ball's at the 40. Two returners are deep at their own 10. And now the kick is away. It's a low line, and it's ultimately out of bounds. They didn't want to kick it deep to the return guys, and then nobody from Montour decided to pick it up early, And so now Montour has it, 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
What do you think our sideline guy thinks of that?
Let's go check in with Derek over at the sideline. Derek, what do you know?
Man, if there's not a whole lot left in this fourth quarter, that kick may have earned him CCBC player of the game.
What would you have done? Make him kick it or take it on the kickoff?
As my good friend Tank would say, I do like watching the kickers, and I was watching him on the sideline warming up. He was ready for that kick.
It is so cool. I tell you what, if they win by a point, then Ronaldo Romero is the CCBC player of the game. I'm with you on that.
We'll see. We'll see. A lot of time to go.
We will check in with Joe from Boom Pow DIY Solar to find out what's happening with Central Valley and Hopewell in a moment. First, though, 1st and 10 for Montour at the 35. Handoff around that left side, trying to get out there and find that edge. And he's able to get out beyond the 40-yard line, out close to the 42. Nice pickup of 7 yards on 1st down.
Think about this. Aliquippa's had the ball 4 times. They did turn it over on that punt, obviously. But this is only the 2nd possession for Montour, and it's 11:20 to go in the 4th quarter. So maybe they get it back one more time after this. They're down, but do they have a field goal kicker? That's the question.
3 guys wide, 1 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Back to pass, looking. He's going to go deep. He has a man wide open and overthrows his receiver. Bennett was looking for Archie Collins down the left side. If he catches it, it's 6. But he just overthrows him by a couple of yards.
And you got to think that guys are getting tired. DBs are getting tired. Legs are getting tired. I'm telling you.
That was the most time he had all night long to be able to set back and pass.
He's 3 steps past the DB, too.
Yes.
He was wide open.
Now, man in motion. Takes the handoff. Has a man again. Completes it. And he's off to the races. He's gone for 6. Xander Stern with his 2nd touchdown of the night. Are there flags? I don't see any.
That's 58 yards, my friend.
Touchdown, Montour.
And
wow.
You're talking about the kicker being the CCBC player of the game?
I said if they were going to win by 1.
And I think Montour goes for 2 here for sure.
Brandon Bennett, 2 touchdowns on the night. Xander Stern, 2 touchdown receptions on the night.
Yeah, you got to go for 2 here.
4 wide receivers set. Bennett takes the snap. Play action. Looking for somebody in the end zone. It has him. Completed. 2-point conversion is good. And there's a flag on the play. It looks as though it's going to go against Montour.
Holding probably? No?
It looks as though maybe. Yes. Formation. Wow.
5 yards.
So the 2 points wiped off. Now it is a decision. You go for it here from what is the 8-yard line, or do you bring out your kicker, Luke Medvitz, and say, Luke, can you get us a point here?
And here's the thing. You get a point, Aliquippa scores a TD and an extra point, you win the game. Or go up by a point. If you go for 2 and make it, they have to score and do that to tie you. You may as well go for 2 here, because even if you miss...
If you go for 2 and you get it, you're up by 7.
Right. If you miss, an extra point doesn't do a whole lot for you if Quips scores. So that's why you got to go for 2.
So Bennett, shotgun, man in motion, looking for some receivers, making some moves, extending the play, and ultimately taken down at the 11-yard line.
He waited too long.
He had an opening, a couple of guys, but just not able to see them. And now it's 19-14. Montour on top of Aliquippa, and Aliquippa expected yet again to work their 4th quarter heroics. We'll come back in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
In Beaver County, there are many great stories to tell. One such worthy story is that of the drug-free Aliquippa program. Now in its 4th year, the project has enjoyed great success through in-school interaction, education, raising awareness, and data analysis. Drug-free Aliquippa has a mission to help local youth make better decisions regarding alcohol and drug use. For more information or to find out how you can get involved, visit Drug Free Aliquippa on Facebook.
19-14, Montour on top of Aliquippa. They're up by 5. Looking at scores from around the valley from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Newcastle rolling past Ambridge 49-7. Southside getting annihilated by Laurel.
No.
31-7 is the score that we have here.
No, that's not good. What was the first score again? I missed the first score.
Newcastle and Ambridge, 49-7. Western Beavers up 20-8 on New Brighton. And do we have an update from Joe at Boom Pow? Let's go to that right now. Joe from Boom Pow DIY Solar on the latest from Central Valley and Hopewell.
Hey, thanks, Mike and Mangino. Central takes over in the third at the 20-yard line, goes for it on fourth down again. First down from their 22-yard line. Gutsy plays for the Warriors. 3 for 3 on fourth downs. Right now the score is 13-0. There's about 1 minute left in the third quarter. Hopewell just cannot get the ball moving forward. Anyway, give me a call, 844-BOOM-POW. Once again, 13-0 with 1 minute left in the third quarter. Back to Mike and Mangino.
21-3, West Allegheny on top of Blackhawk.
Yeah, West Allegheny solidifying, and it looks like it's going to be either them or Montour. Maybe both. If Aliquippa loses this and somehow loses to Ambridge, then, you could see that happen. But
short kick taken at the 20, and he's off to the races. Miller has one man to beat. Can he do it? He did. Touchdown, Aliquippa.
Wow. This game has turned into a classic. It was good, but it turns into a classic. What do we go, about 70 yards, 75 yards?
80 yards. He took it at the 20 and then just ran on a dead sprint up the sideline, and it looked as though he was going to be stopped, but the Montour defender took a bad angle on him.
Yeah. And then he faked him. He went right. The guy bit, and then he went right down the sideline. That's a heck of a play. Who was that again?
That was Ray Miller.
Ray Miller. A lot of guys saying, we hear rumors, Mike and Mangino and Derek, that you're talking about a kicker for CCBC Player of the Game. Not so fast, they say.
Not so fast. So now they're up by 1. There's no reason for a conversion here, so they're going for 2.
Interesting.
Play clock is about 11 seconds. Khalil Good getting everybody in formation. Plenty of time. Snaps. Back. Looking. Has a man open. Does he throw it? He does, and then intercepted on the 2-point conversion. And so it's no good. So now Aliquippa still up by 1, 20-19. Wow, 3 touchdowns in just a matter of a couple of minutes between Aliquippa's touchdown, the big strike by Montour, and then the kickoff return for a touchdown. Wow.
I mean, what do we talk about? We've had great games. This might be our best. I don't know. Think back. I mean, New Brighton, Beaver Falls was good.
New Brighton,
Elwood was pretty good.
Really good.
That might have been our best, right? Aliquippa, Avonworth, okay. Central Valley Beaver, Riverside Freedom. I did a Freedom game and a Rochester game. I mean, my opinion, it's this one and the Elwood New Brighton game. This has been back and forth in the second half, and big plays on both sides. A kickoff return.
Wow. And we have 10 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. What a back-and-forth game. We went into halftime. Aliquippa up 7-0. And then Montour comes back and scores too quick. A touchdown and then a block punt in the end zone, covered for a touchdown. And now we're at 2019. Aliquippa up by 1.
And this has time left. I mean, if they're going to keep big playing it, which I have a feeling Lucero is not going to be satisfied with just running the ball. They've proven they can throw the ball against Quip.
Kick taken at the 20, 25, 30, outside of the 35, and finally taken out of bounds. That on the return is Xander Stern, who's already caught 2 touchdown passes on the night. Return of about 15 yards on that.
I've been doing this for a while, as you have. every single time I have done games where you have fast returners, when you kick the ball to them, you are always in danger of having a run back. I've seen it again and again and again. Cost teams never kick it to the fast kids. Quip has faster players than you do. You might have one or two guys that are as fast as them. You have to take advantage of having a lead, take the extra, give up the extra yardage, kick the ball away from them. It cost Montour.
I think they were trying to avoid kicking it to Josh Lay and to Khalil Good. And penalty on that one. Nice pass by Brandon Bennett. He was looking to be able to connect with Don Barron, and they got the pass interference call. So that was from the 36 that'll push them all the way out to about the 49-yard line of Aliquippa.
Here's another thing. What did I just say? I mean, Lou's not going to be afraid. He's proven they can throw the ball. They find a way to protect your guy, protect my guy for 3 or 4 seconds. We're going to be able to throw against them. We can beat their DBs. He just proved it again. They're going to go to that play more than they're going to go to the play more. I could just tell you that. They're not just going to be satisfied running against Quip. They want to score. They know they have to score, and running against them is going to take a long time. Now they got a lot of time. They just have to take their time and relax, and they'll be okay.
Bennett shotgun, man in motion. And is there a flag?
Should be.
No flag on that one. Takoa Gilbert coming off the edge, and with the whistles blowing, took down Bennett.
Well, in the NFL, it's a penalty. I can tell you that much right now. I'm kind of surprised. You take a guy down after the whistle. He didn't get hurt, obviously, but, man, you got to watch that kind of stuff. The rules are set to protect quarterbacks now. That's going to go.
In fact, there was number 17 who got the late sack after the whistle.
It's going against
Quip. They got
Quip
flagged for the offside. So now it's 1st and 5. This one's from the 44. They have to get to the 39 of Aliquippa for a first down.
Penalties hurt Quip. They keep hurting them. Backed them up, caused them a punt from their own end zone. Now it's giving Montour better field position.
Bennett, man in motion, takes it, hands it off, and up the middle. And a stop right around the 41-yard line for Caden Hallijoe. So now it's 2nd and 2. And in this position here, 2nd and 2, you can call up anything at this point because you feel good about being able to get a first down on 2 runs if you had to. So If you want to, you can dial up a pass play here again. Man-on-man coverage here on the outside for Montour and Aliquippa. Back to pass, looking, plenty of time. Finding some room and making the catch. Did he get down? Yes, he was.
He had a hand on him.
He made the catch. Hallijoe made the catch at the 32-yard line.
Here's another thing. I don't know what they changed, but he's getting protection now, isn't he? He didn't have this protection in the first half. If they win, and if we talk to Lou, if they win, there's timeout, Robert.
Yeah, what did they do in making that adjustment at halftime? You talk about important halftime adjustments. They've made them. Let's check in with Derek on the sideline. Derek, what have you noticed regarding what's happening in this game so far?
Well, just to comment on your comment about having more time in the backfield, they've been bringing Dylan Rogers in motion back to the center just to chip any player coming through the center part of that line to keep Bennett back there protected.
Thank you very much. Yeah, they are doing a much better job. He has the time. He's not able to find anybody in that first read, but then he's able to extend the play, and he's doing a really good job in the second half of keeping his eyes downfield. Does he have something? He doesn't have to just necessarily tuck and run. He can keep on looking, and in that particular play, he found Caden Hallijoe for a pickup.
I was told by one of the Montour assistants up here, zone read blocking, so it's a little bit different than the first half.
Okay.
So it's helping them tremendously. We had an injured player for Aliquippa down, and now
looks as though they're ready to start playing.
Did they give Montour a timeout here? Because Montour only has Aliquippa only has 2 now. So Aliquippa might have taken a timeout because of that. I don't know. I didn't recall them calling a timeout in the third quarter.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody down on the ground.
Yeah, there were over there about the 15-yard line.
Okay. So now Aliquippa running man coverage on the outside. And this time Bennett keeping it himself and then take it down. That was a big hit by one of the inside defensive linemen for that was a Khalil Elderby that came in, and he just lowered the boom that time on Brandon Bennett.
Your running back taking out bruising. I mean, that's another big play up the middle. He only gets a yard. Well, he lost a couple yards there, actually.
Yeah, he lost one, so it's 2nd and 11. Man in motion. Fakes the handoff. Guys, some room running, looking downfield, throws it out of bounds, but there's a flag down at the 18-yard line, maybe a holding penalty against Aliquippa.
They came after him big time. I mean, he felt it. I'll tell you what, if he doesn't sense it, he's tackled at the 35-yard line. So he then sprints. I thought he would have had enough time to get around the edge and maybe get a first down, but other guys were chasing him, so he knew he wasn't going to get a lot of yards. He threw it out of bounds. And
here comes the official call. It's a holding penalty against Aliquippa.
There it is again.
Another big penalty against Aliquippa.
Penalties hurt them. They hurt him in the first half. Well, Montour didn't have enough time in the third quarter, so it hurt him, but didn't kill him. And now here in the block punt in the third quarter, penalty brings him back. So now more penalties, just giving Montour all kind of extra time.
The difference when it comes to the holding penalty in high school is that it's not 5 yards and a first down like in the pros. It's 10 yards, 10-yard penalty, no automatic first down. So now it's 2nd and 1 and a handoff up the middle, and he got absolutely nowhere. So now it's 3rd and 1, maybe even 2. He may have lost a yard.
I think they're going to go, no matter what they do, they're going to try to run and get a first down here.
And we have an Aliquippa player down on the field. It's Gilbert, Takoa Gilbert. He has been a beast so far tonight. A lot of pressure on Bennett. Had that strip sack fumble, and now he's being looked at. And while he's being looked at, we'll take a little pause here. We'll come back 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
Hello, this is Alan Bross, General Manager at Moon Township Ford. Just like a good football team is trained to win, our goal is to win you over with our own team of experienced professionals equipped with what it takes to make your dreams of a new car come true. So if you haven't visited us for a while, come over and see what we have to offer. Or visit our exciting selection of cars and trucks online. Find out why people keep running back to Moon Township Ford. Belconi's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Takoa Gilbert off under his own power. He's out for at least one play. Fakes the handoff. This one, Bennett decides to call his own number. Has it inside the 10. Still on his feet. He's off to the end zone. Touchdown, Brandon Bennett. He would not be stopped. 3rd touchdown on the night. 2 through the air, 1 on the ground. And Brandon Bennett saying, hey, I want to be the CCBC player of the game.
He's got 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown pass.
2 passing,
1
rushing.
Yeah. Stearns was in there too. Boy, he was my pick at the beginning of the game. So I have no reason. They got to go for 2 here.
Yeah, they're up by 5 right now, so it makes sense to go for 2. 1 does them no good. Ball is on the 3. 8:16 to go in the 4th quarter.
Long way to go.
Long way.
You can't kick to the. You got to kick it out of bounds. You can't kick.
You almost want to just kick it out of bounds, don't you? Just give it to them at the 35 and call it a day.
To those guys, you can't kick to their guys. You just can't. Not whether you're up 5 or 7 here.
Bennett, 3 wide receivers to the near side. Fakes the handoff, throws it into the end zone. 2-point conversion, good. Wow. Dylan Rogers from his tight end position came off of a block, and Brandon found him in the end zone for the 2 points. It's 27-20. Montour on top of Aliquippa. Let's go to Joe from Boom Pow DIY Solar. Get the latest from Central Valley and Hopewell.
Hey, thanks, Mike and Mangino. Central takes over in the 3rd at the 20-yard line. Goes for it on 4th down again. First down from their 22-yard line. Gutsy plays for the Warriors. 3 for 3 on 4th downs. Right now the score is 13-0. There's about 1 minute left in the 3rd quarter. Hopewell just cannot get the ball moving forward. Anyway, give me a call, 844-BOOM-POW. Once again, 13-0 with 1 minute left in the 3rd quarter. Back to Mike and Mangino.
Thank you very much. Do appreciate that. We'll have updates for you from Joe throughout the course of the evening from Central Valley Football.
Falcones, Moon Township Ford wrap-up show. We'll have him on there as well.
Fry Transportation Update Desk, Western Beaver 20-8 on top of New Brighton. How about the Spartans? I can't get over this. 31-7 against Southside. They're playing up in
I'm a little
Laurel.
surprised. I know Laurel's good. I'm a little surprised it's that big. I have to talk to Ian. I have to talk to the Beaver County Times kid, Ethan.
Yeah.
Talk to him on the show as well.
We have a final already. Newcastle wrapping up their game against Ambridge 56-7. Kickoff taken inside the 20, and Khalil Good trying to find some room and taken down. Eventually, they were going to wrap him up and not let him get away. The tackle by Nicholas Cecilia.
They got it to the far left side line.
Cecilia.
So they didn't kick it out of bounds, but it sure was close to that. And they got him pinned. So now, maybe the biggest defensive possession for Montour this season. You win this, you're still alive for the playoffs. You lose this, even if you beat West A next week, you might not make it. This is important for them because the Parkway is going to get 2 for sure, likely a third.
But
could they get a 4th? Maybe, but this game's big for Montour. They have to win this game.
Because the odds are that Aliquippa is going to win next week.
Right.
And then you have Newcastle playing as strong as they're playing. This is a handoff up the middle. Montour swarming defense and a pickup of what looks to be about 3 yards on that play.
What's going to happen is Newcastle wins and wins next week. They get to section easy, and then depending on what Montour does against West A, and you got to figure Aliquippa, the best they could do is 3-2. Montour could be 3-2. West A could be 3-2. Then who do you take? Then you got to go to non-conference. It's going to be a mess. One good team from this conference is not going to make the playoffs. Probably. Because they're going to probably take TJ and take 2 from another conference. You only have 8. This is a big,
I think there's an argument that you take both of the wild cards from this conference.
You could, but that
name a better conference.
That leaves TJ out. We'll see about that.
Handoff. No, he fakes it. Khalil Good keeps it himself, calls his own number, gets a first down pickup. Out beyond the 30-yard line. Everybody went with the running back. Everybody went with J.J. Work
Big
on
play.
that one.
Big play.
He kept it himself and picked up a nice first down.
See, a lot of people, how come you only have the top 2? Well, in the past, you've gotten teams that are 2-4 in conference, 3-7 overall. They're trying to eliminate that. Maybe you go to 12 in these conferences, but again, when you look at the other conferences, there's too many teams that are under 500 in the conference. So the playoff system's the way it is. You just got to live with it.
Everybody's in tight. Handoff. Fullback has it. Bounces off a man and stays a foot. And then finally taken down around the 36-yard line. They called him dead at the 36. Still didn't go down there.
Got another final.
That was Coleman.
Wait a minute.
What do you have?
We're saying Riverside wins 21-18, Tank, over Beaver Falls?
I don't know. Get a confirmation on that one. That would be so surprising.
But if they were
so surprising.
If they were down 14-6 and had
second down and 5 at the 36-yard line. Snap. Handoff. Met in the backfield. And a loss of 1. Great play on defense by Montour, so it sets up a 3rd and what looks like 6 now for Aliquippa.
I was under the assumption that Riverside was down to BF at halftime, 14-6. So if the final was 21-18 Riverside, how did Beaver Falls get 4 points? So I'm trying to get confirmation on that.
All right. We'll figure that one out.
That's our own Tank Latham.
No, that's all right. We'll figure it out. 3rd and 6 now, 35-yard line. Aliquippa Montour. 5:30 to go. Running clock. Wide receivers 1-1. Single coverage on the outside. Takes it. Throws the ball to the outside. Overthrows his receiver. Incomplete. He was looking for Josh Lay. And now it's 4th and 6 for Aliquippa in their own territory at the 35-yard line.
They got a punt here.
They're trailing by 7.
They have to punt here.
And now a very dangerous situation. The last time they tried to punt, you got a block punt. Avery Coleman had his punt blocked in the end zone for a touchdown. They've got to get this snap back quickly. You know they're going to bring pressure. Aliquippa is set up for what looks to be max protection.
Yeah, you want to run back here. You want to get the ball.
Well, they have 2 gunners out. Here comes a snap. The kick is away. It is high. It is spiraling, and a fair catch at the 32-yard line. That catch was made by Xander Stern. And so now Montour, 5:16 to go in the fourth quarter, has the opportunity, if they can just ground and pound this thing for a while, to run out this clock.
Beaver Falls was down at the half to Riverside 14-6. Riverside wins 21-18 from Tank Latham. That is the final. Riverside wins. Beaver Falls already in the playoffs. Now that means Riverside is now going to be a win away from making the playoffs. They're knocking on the door. So a lot is going to be determined tonight and next week. A loss by New Brighton now really is going to hurt them, and it looks like they might be the team on the outside looking in. But Riverside has just solidified themselves.
You know what's so interesting? What we saw with Riverside against Freedom, I didn't think that they were going to be able to match up as well as they did against Beaver Falls, especially considering how handily they were beat by Elwood City.
And now, if you're Mohawk and Freedom, even if you win your games, now you got Riverside to worry about. It's a jumbled mess. And I look at this stuff from other conferences. Not that I'm a homer, but you look at the non-conference schedules, you look at the non-conference records, you look at the overall records, really believe the MAC's going to get 4, maybe 5, but it depends on you have to win. This is a big win for Riverside. Don't know who they have next week. But we got a lot to talk about on our post-game show and on the Falcones Moon Township Ford wrap-up show afterwards. Myself, Ryan Garazunas, we'll get Ethan Morrison on, try to get another coach here or there, and some other players. We'll get calls in. It's going to be interesting this week and next week. And, boy, I tell you, a lot of Beaver County teams either in or have a chance. There's very few that don't have a chance to make the playoffs. Very few.
And now Bennett hands it off. Hallijoe met in the backfield, able to get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
So I think if you're Montour, you get 3 first downs and you burn clock, you win this game. But Aliquippa, tough on D, you never know. They could easily get the ball back. They're going to have to do better than a couple of yards here and there. They're going to need a play or two. You don't want to give Quip the ball back.
Montour, twin wide receivers to the near side. It looks as though they're content at letting it as much of this play clock roll off as possible. They're under 10 seconds now. Bennett getting everybody set. Hand it off up the middle. And Hallijoe able to get just a yard. So now it's 3rd and 9.
And Quip still has 2 timeouts. They're not going to use them yet. 3rd down. Are you going to play conservative and run the ball? Are you going to run your quarterback out to the left or right on a play where he rolls out, run pass option? That's what I would do. I don't think they'll run. You want to try to get a first down or 2. You don't want to just run into the line and give them the ball back.
We're getting under 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Play clock is down at 7 seconds. Bennett, 4 wide receivers. Fakes the toss. Pressure's coming. Has room. He's off to the races. First down and more. He's inside Aliquippa territory. First down. Montour to the 45-yard line.
Huge play. Huge play. I don't know what they were doing. And a running back go behind him and stand there. He turned and looked at him. He was covered. Then he turned and looked the other way and he avoided. I'm telling you, this kid looks exactly like Michael Vick. The way he plays. He plays exactly like him. Not just because he's left-handed, the way he runs. That is a big first down for Montour. Big.
Under 3:20 to go until the end of the fourth quarter. Twin wide receivers to the top. Twin tight ends to the bottom. Shotgun. Takes a snap. Keeps it himself.
That's offside.
Whistles.
Definitely a guy from Quip offside. I believe, if I'm correct, that was Takoa Gilbert coming from the right side of the line. He jumped, and he was good yard offside, at least.
So that gives them 5 yards. They're down to the 40-yard line. 1st and 5 now for Montour, and this is what really hurts.
Yep.
Because you have 4 downs to get 5 yards, and you can just run dive plays now. Aliquippa only has 2 timeouts.
So you're 50. You could take this down to under 2 minutes. Easily before you get a first down. And if you get a first down, it stops and it starts again. Take your sweet old time. Take time off the clock. That's what you're doing.
2:54 to go. Play clock is at 8 seconds. Bennett Halajo behind him in the pistol formation. He calls for the snap, has it, and then bounces outside. Takoa Gilbert doesn't catch him, and he gets close to a first down pickup. He's down to the 37-yard line. He has to get to the 35. 2:39 to go, and a timeout called by Mike Warfield.
Interesting that he calls a timeout there. The man knows way more than I do, but it's 2nd and 2. If you got to stop him 3 times from here. Why not save those timeouts for the next time they get it? Maybe
because here's what I'm thinking. If he doesn't call a timeout, they're going to be able to get this thing all the way down to under 2 minutes.
Yeah, no doubt.
At that point, I wouldn't be all that interested in getting my first down quite yet if I'm Montour.
Oh, I agree. I don't care if I do right now. Run it into the line. You could run it into the line 3 times, and you can burn. Yeah, maybe he figures that's what they're going to do, and maybe I better call a timeout now. And you tell everybody, strip the ball, go for the ball. That's about their biggest chance here, because if Montour gets a first down here, I'm not going to say Aliquippa's 100% done, but it's going to be real close.
2:39 to go. Plenty of time on the play clock. It doesn't make a difference because the game clock is stopped. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Snap back, handed off to Halajo. He's gone. Halajo's gone for the touchdown. Montour. Aliquippa just not able to stop that run over the left side. No penalties, and now they're up by 13 with 2:31 to go in the game.
This Aliquippa team is different than every game this year. They came back and beat Penn Hills. They came back and beat Mars. They came back in the second half, and we're a great second half team. This team, they've given up 33 points to a Montour team that has played well against the teams they should beat, but not as good as against some other teams. And this Montour team's probably a lot better than people gave them credit for, and they're proving it here tonight.
And what's remarkable is that they gave up 33 points to Montour in a half.
Now 34, yep.
In a half. They were winning 7-0 at a halftime. And then Montour, the coaching staff, did an absolutely fantastic job at figuring out what they needed to do in order to slow this Aliquippa pass rush and create a couple of holes and figure out what they needed to do on defense to be able to shore things up, because they've held Aliquippa to just 13 points in the second half. What a coaching job that Cerro has done in his coaching staff, and what a performance by these kids to execute that way.
It is so funny how these teams go back and forth every year. The past 5 years, they've played each other. We've seen some great games with Aliquippa coming to Montour and beating them last year. Now they come back down here this year, and Montour with a team that a lot of people didn't think was as good. Now the quarterback, who we thought, what did we say? He plays a great game. He's played a tremendous game.
Yes,
so has Halajo, so has Stern. They've had a big effort, especially coming up with that defensive stance in the third quarter, set the tone, and the punt block. And from then on, Montour's been the better team.
Yes, they have been. They came out from the third quarter kickoff, and they were just like, we are going to win this game. And they're playing just like that. Kickoff is away. Taken at the 12. Sprinting up to the middle of the field, trying to find a hash mark. He may be off to the races. No, Josh Lay was taken down. He made one quick cut, and then he ran into Cole Middley, and then taken down. If Middley wasn't there, Lay's still running.
Quip can score fast. If they can get a pass to one of their quick receivers down the middle, if I'm on tour, I'm watching for pass plays because they need 2 scores. They're not going to run the ball. You got to have somebody set and make sure Khalil's not coming up the middle, but you got to watch their receivers.
4 wide receivers, man coverage, it looks like. Good looking, throwing to the corner. Complete to Josh Lay at the 49-yard line. Nice first down catch.
And it stops the clock. You can do that. Boom, boom, boom. And tic-tac-toe and go down and score.
And here we go. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Clock is running, under 2:10 to go. Snap back, looking, throwing out to the outside. Has a man, and just beyond the reach of his receiver. He was trying to make connection with his back, Matthew Porto, I'm sorry, no, not Matthew Porto. Jeffrey Hicks Jr. and not able to make the connection.
Here's where you miss Council. Council has the better arm. Khalil, nice running quarterback. He does not have an arm to throw long. You can see some of his passes fluttering. That could hurt them. But if you could tic-tac-toe, you could break a run here. You still got the option of the onside kick if you score. So all is not lost for the Quips, but they can't fool around. They got to score quick.
2:04. Montour sends 5. Pressure's coming. Up in the air. Intercepted. Intercepted inside the 10-yard line. And he's taken down at the 25. There's a fight going on with some extracurriculars inside the 10-yard line. 2 penalty flags were dropped back there. And so the interception by Brandon Bennett.
That is
Brandon Bennett in a defensive back position.
If you count, that's the 3rd interception. If you count the 2-point conversion, that's 4. Wow. You get a first down, like this game's over. This game is over.
It is.
And you might not even, Whip got timeout. They got 2 timeouts, but they got 1 timeout, but
yeah,
it might not matter. Because
it's just knees at this point.
Yeah, because I think it's knees. Even if you knee it and they call your timeout, knees, you might get the ball back with 10. Who cares? Let them score. It doesn't matter. You won the game.
Personal foul against Aliquippa.
Yep.
First down, Montour. Yeah, so with a minute 48 to go, they have 1 timeout they can call. That gets you down to about a minute 40.
Right.
And then you still have 2 more plays, so now you're down to...
yeah. 3 more plays, that's 50. That's...
well, second and third down get you down to
75 seconds,
40,
so now you're... Like
about
I said,
20 seconds.
Yeah, you got about 20 seconds left on the clock if you don't get the first down.
Right.
So there is time for Quip to get the ball back, but not enough time to score 2. So if you're Montour... It doesn't matter if Aliquippa gets the ball back. So what? They might get it back with 18 seconds. Who cares if they score at this point? You're winning the game, and that's the most important stat. And
we'll see what formation they come out in.
And to come to Quip and win, that's big for Montour. That doesn't happen. Again, Aliquippa's lost twice at home this year. Doesn't happen a lot.
3 wide receivers set. Bennett takes it, hands it off. Halajo has it, taken down in the backfield, and 143. And a timeout's called.
Yeah.
They're going to call it with 142 unless they adjust the clock.
You figure, even if they don't get a first down, you got to, as a coach, Mike Warfield has to call these timeouts. Now Montour might not decide to just knee it the whole way. But what if they fumble, and they do, and what if you run it back? Weirder things have happened, and then you do get an onside kick. There is a chance still, and if this was 3 touchdowns down, I say knee the ball, and there's no chance. But you still have a chance. You got to coach like you do, because you never know. We saw what happened on the block punt.
Mm-hmm.
What if Montour decides they want to punt the ball? I think they're crazy if they try to punt the ball, but what if they decide to do something like that?
I would do nothing but take knees.
I would not want to risk, exactly. It
nothing
doesn't
but
matter.
Knees.
Yeah, take knees. Let the time go off the clock.
You're up but at the same time, you're also up by 14. And the idea being to have them score and then get the likelihood of a
they're going to have to score twice
kick.
in under 18 seconds. It's the chances of that happening. I bet they don't take knees here. They're going to run the ball and see if they can get a first down. But I wouldn't be surprised if they take a knee on 3rd or 4th down. I don't think they're going to knee here, but I could be wrong.
Twin wide receivers, twin tight ends, jumbo package setup. Movement by Montour.
Wow.
And then Aliquippa touched the Montour player, but it looks as though it's going to be movement on Montour.
Makes things a little more difficult for Montour, but they still have the advantage, obviously. The official was turned the wrong way.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot more than 5 yards.
He lost 2 on the first play, so now he's back to...
Yeah, but that's 17 yard. That's a 10-yard penalty. That can't be offsides. What did they get called for?
They got called for motion.
That's a 10-yard penalty? That's weird.
No, Halajo has it out to the 40-yard line.
Is it motion penalty 5 yards?
It is 5. I'm not quite sure
why they give him 10 yards.
It looked as though I thought initially that the tackle was for a loss. the first down play. And so it was 2nd and 12, and then they backed it up to 2nd and 17.
Yeah, so now
we're looking at 3rd down, 14 to go from the 39-yard line.
Yeah, unless you get a first down.
Minute 5 to go, running clock, no more timeouts for Aliquippa. Play clock is down to 2 seconds, 1 second. A timeout is going to be called by Cerro.
See, I don't.
And now there's 56 seconds left on a 3rd down play. So you're looking at around maybe 12 to 14 seconds after this
plays.
play. Where you got to punt the ball
even
away.
if there's no way I punt. No way in heck I punt. No way. Why give them a chance to score quick? Because if you give them the ball, obviously, whether you give it to them at the 40 or you punt it to them, if you punt it to them and you let them run it back, if they do run it back, you give them a chance and you give them the control. I don't believe you should punt the ball here at all. I mean, I don't think they're even going to throw the ball.
I think it's somewhat reasonable to trust your long snapper and your punter to get the ball away. Yeah. But I would also be directing my punter, you do nothing but punt it out of bounds.
Yeah,
your biggest job is to get it as high in the air as you can for as long as you can until somebody has to stop a clock.
Yeah, good point, but I just don't know which way this is going to go. They're not going to put the ball in the air. They can't be.
Oh, here, no. No, there's no way they're going to do
Quips
that.
got to look to punch the ball out.
56 seconds left.
We got to think about
man
playing
in
the
motion.
game too.
And now a penalty. Motion against Montour. My vote is Brandon Bennett. 2 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground, and the interception to seal it.
For Montour, Bennett for sure. And for Quip, boy, good with 3, maybe 4 interceptions. I can't call him. I agree with your running back for Quip. Derek, we can ask him what he thinks.
Derek, what do you think about CCBC player of the game for Aliquippa?
Yeah, I definitely think the running back for sure.
Okay. Akiva Woods, number 8 for Aliquippa.
So we both agree. We all 3 agree on that. So
yes. Handoff, Halajo. He's out beyond the 45-yard line, close to the 50-yard line now.
They blew the whistle.
And now
he's going to get another 3 yards from when they blew the whistle. Interesting play.
And so now there's only like a 7-second difference.
Yeah.
Between the game clock and the play clock.
Yeah, you're not going to punt. You're not going to punt here. You're going to run the ball. You're going to run the ball because that might take the time off the clock. You take it all the way down. You run the clock. You run the ball. Maybe Quip gets it. Maybe if they don't get a first down, they get it with 4 or 5 seconds to go. Maybe if they don't get a first down. I wouldn't punt.
Are they going to call timeout again?
Probably.
Just to be able to get as close to. Yes, they are. 2 seconds. 1 second on the play clock. Timeout is called. And now there are, right now, 6 seconds on the play clock.
You run the ball here. If you get a first down, game over. If you don't get the first down and they take the ball, you might just run the clock out with a run play. This game's over either way. Montour comes into Aliquippa, and 1 more play to go. But, Quip's lining up like the game's over. Interesting. They got kids lined up already like they're ready to shake hands. Interesting
They're going to have to back up a little bit first. So number 2, Brandon Bennett.
Yeah,
CCBC player of the game for Montour.
A lot of talent there. A nice, talented kid. Sorry, man.
And Akiva Woods, number 8. The CCBC player of the game for
Danny Campbell tried to get one of them. That's
6 seconds left to go in this game.
I doubt
and Bennett now. Shotgun formation with Halajo on his hip. Takes a snap. Hands it off to Halajo. Halajo looking for some room, and he stopped at the 50. Clock stops with 2 seconds left, and Aliquippa has 1 play with 2 seconds left. And now you got to wonder what Aliquippa decides to do.
I mean,
do they take a knee?
Even if you score here, there's no time on the clock to kick off. You don't have to kick off. There's no time on the clock, so they can't get the ball back on a onside kick.
No,
they can't, and the game can't end on a defensive penalty. So unless there's a penalty on defense for Montour on an extra point, so I can't see them knee in here. No, in Aliquippa, they're going to try something just to try to score.
They just took a knee.
Oh, did they? Interesting.
They just took a knee and said that's enough. And because
34-20.
they ran all the calculations and it just wasn't there. Montour victorious 34-20. They came into Heinz Field with a game plan. And at the first half, you were wondering what was the game plan as they were trailing 7-0. They went in and decided to flip a switch, and the power came on, and they put up 34 on Aliquippa in 2 quarters.
That doesn't happen often. And Aliquippa has played really good defense all year. Look back at their games against Mars. Look back against Penn Hills. Look what they did so far. They've played well all year long in the second half. And this tonight is a huge breakdown. Now you're going to have possibly 3 teams at 3-2 tied for second place, and the WPL's got all kinds of decisions to make. Somebody between a Montour, a West A, an Aliquippa, a TJ, in my estimation, one of those teams doesn't make the playoffs.
Montour, with this win coming into Aliquippa and getting this win, and now next week they have West Allegheny at home, but coming in here and getting this victory should make a statement to those that are the people who make decisions about wild cards, that Montour, even if they lose to West A next week,
I'm telling you,
is one that needs to be in this.
That's a big game. That's one of the biggest games in the WPL next week. Winner will go to the playoffs.
Okay.
Loser, maybe. But this is a big one.
Let's check in with Derek. He's on the field right now with Akiva Woods, the CCBC player of the game for Aliquippa. And Akiva, realizing this is a difficult interview to do, we appreciate you being down here for it. Go ahead, Derek.
Kalia Woods, we just take a moment just to ask you a couple questions. We named you CCBC player of the game for Aliquippa. Great running game today. Tough loss at home. It really is tough. What's your message to your teammates?
Just keep our heads up and keep fighting. You know, we're going to be good. We just got to keep working harder and keep pushing for all 4 quarters and never give up. You know, just come out hard. Second half, that's all.
Okay. Awesome. Great game. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And you also have Coach Warfield?
Yes, I got Warfield here. Again, Coach, great game. Tough game. Tough loss at home on senior night here. How proud are you of your kids at not giving up this game here? They fought.
Yeah, they're always going to fight. You know, they get frustrated. You know, just like any kid would, they used to winning. So this is tough. I mean, but we got to poke our chests out and keep working.
How are you going to keep them motivated and get them ready next week for another game at Ambridge next week?
Yeah, it's just going to be something we're going to have to dig down and look in the mirror and see who wants to play, who don't. So it's going to be a challenge, but we'll get through it.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you very much, Coach.
Okay.
Very good. You know, and my guess is next week there's going to be a lot of frustrations that will be taken out on Ambridge next week.
And Ambridge isn't going to lay down for them. They're not the better team. You know, if you can get Lou for an interview, that's okay too, because they're right on our edge of.
Do you think that Aliquippa is going to need to win big in order to have that be a statement win, in order to re-get the attention of the potential wild card spot, or is Aliquippa one of those teams where they are good enough? And it's Aliquippa. How do you not put Aliquippa in the playoffs?
See, the thing is if this plays out like you're looking at, Quip could be 3-2, Montour could be 3-2, West A could be 3-2. How do you determine who beat who and what? And do you take all 3 and then leave a TJ out? I mean, because they're going to be 4-2 in their conference. So that's why I keep saying a good team's going to be out of it. Now, if Quip loses to Ambridge, they're not going to make the playoffs. Plain and simple. They're not going to take them at 2-3 in the conference, so they got to win next week. But the big game now is Montour West A, because if Montour wins, then they will get second place by my calculation. So that game next week is for second place for Montour, and then that way they have a better record. They'd have beat Aliquippa. They would get the second seed, and Aliquippa would get and then West A could be out. Mm-hmm. So that's a scenario. And if Montour loses to West A, Montour still might have a better overall record than better record, but might not get in the playoffs because Montour. I don't know. There's just so many things to think about. It's crazy. But we'll have more of that for sure. As we're looking for Derek, I don't see him. Wave your hands, buddy.
Yeah, I'm seeing Derek either. It was interesting. A quick little conversation. I see him now. He was Coach Warfield came out, wanted to have a quick little conversation with one of the offensive linemen, Abram Kolodinsky, over at Montour, and it was a quick little exchange, and back to the huddle he's gone. And it looks as though Coach Cerro is having a big conversation with his team about how proud he is that they came in and they won a huge matchup. And considering where they thought they were at the beginning of this season, with all the seniors they lost last year, to be able to come to Aliquippa and win this game, it's a statement victory on this season.
West A wins tonight. Montour wins. Aliquippa loses. They're all three tied at 2-2 behind a Newcastle 3-1 team.
Yes.
Montour beats West A, they're going to be in the playoffs and be second place for sure.
All right, let's go down to Derek right now. Derek has the CCBC player of the game, Brandon Bennett. 2 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground, and then the interception to seal this thing right there. Derek, go ahead and take it.
Hey, guys, thanks. I got Brandon Bennett here. Brandon, great game. You guys really came out in the second half, really gunning. 2 touchdown passes, 1 rushing touchdown. How proud of your team of stepping up in the second half and going at it?
Yes, sir. I'm very proud of my team. We came out a little sloppy at first. We talked in the locker room, made some adjustments, came down, finished strong, bend but don't break.
How big is it for you guys to come on the road in the pit to win this game, and how does this motivate you to go to West A and play West A next week?
It was a very big win. We needed this to help us get into the playoffs more. We came here, got the job done. We motivated for next week, another hard week of practice.
All right, take this trophy and enjoy it, man. Great job. Great job to you.
Look at that. Has the trophy for this big matchup tonight
we might get
against Aliquippa, and we're looking at being able to get Coach Lucero as well. Coach is in a couple of interviews right now with some other media outlets, so we'll see if we can get Derek to be able to get that interview here in just a moment. So you look at Newcastle with their big victory that they had tonight against Ambridge.
They're going to win the section. They
have Blackhawk next week, and you got to think that's going to be a cruise victory for them.
Yep, they'll win the section.
Yes, and now Montour with the hardest road to get to the playoffs. They gone through step 1 in a victory against Aliquippa. Yep. Now next week they got to go to West Allegheny, and it's about which West Allegheny team they ultimately get, right?
Exactly. I mean, West A's pretty good, and this is a mess because I look at it like Trinity and CV are going to get in, and then probably TJ as a wild card. McKeesport and Mars will get in. Hampton maybe. So, but those teams I don't think are as good as Montour and West A. So if you take TJ, one of these 3 teams, if Aliquippa wins next week, they'll probably get in. The winner and loser, the loser of the Montour West A game probably doesn't get in. But if it's West A, if it's Montour has a better record than West A. West A's definitely out, but if West A wins, do they put both of them in and leave a TJ out? I don't know. I can't see them leaving them out.
What do you see TJ's conference record being?
I think they're 4-2.
It's awfully difficult to tell a 4-2 that you did that well in your own conference, regardless of the strength of the conference, and say you have to be on the outside looking in.
It's tough. I just think that McKeesport and Mars, they get in for sure. I don't think Hampton gets in. I don't think they could be 5-5. I doubt they get in. It's a weird playoff format. You only get the top 2 spots in each, and then 2 wild cards. One has to come from this conference, no doubt. Getting 2 means, unless somehow Trinity or CV loses a game and knocks them down, I could then see a Trinity or CV not making it at Chartiers Valley, and a West A and Montour both making it. But this win for Montour really throws things into a quiver, because if Montour, he's got his hands up, he's going to get him in a second. If Montour would have lost, it becomes easy then to not put Montour in. But now Montour winning this game at Aliquippa really makes their resume look good. Really makes their resume look good.
Let's go look at some scores from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Newcastle, big victory over Ambridge, 56-7. You mentioned earlier the Sherman McBride already deciding that he's going to resign from the team at the end of the season, just not able to bring that program around like he had hoped. Beaver Falls falling to Riverside 21-18. We now go down to Derek on the field with Coach Cerro of Montour, victorious by 2 touchdowns over Aliquippa.
All right, Coach, going in second half, your comment to me, the cap on some of these takeaways and pull away. It looks to me that your team did that. How did your team really get that message from you going into the halftime, and how did they play for you in the second half?
I think our kids really knew that they got a chance to win that football game tonight after the first half with the big pick by Xander, and they were fired up in the locker room. Didn't really have to say much. We made a couple adjustments on offense and defense, and as it seemed to work in the second half, we shut them down except for they had one long drive and they had returned a kick. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, your team seemed behind Brandon Bennett and Xander, here interviewed right next. Those two really took over in the second half and helped your team. What do you have to say about those two kids?
Yeah, Xander was hurt all last year, playing with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder this year, and you can see it. I mean, he loves the game. He makes a lot of big plays for us. He's obviously not the biggest kid in the world, but he's a tough as nails type of kid. And Brandon, we put a lot of Q runs in this week, and we ran him, and he was up to the task.
Yeah, he definitely took over. He played big tonight for sure. So how big is this win for you on the road at the Pit? A big team going into this. How proud are you of these kids going into next week?
I'm proud of our kids every week. Even we play good, we play bad. It's just a matter of our kids need to be consistent. We've got a big game next week against West Allegheny. There will be playoff implications with that one, and we're just hoping we have another great week of practice and make sure we keep on moving forward.
Hey, Derek, ask him if every single year it comes down to a big game in this conference at the end of the year, and it seems like every week is big for this team, but it gets bigger next week. Ask him how he feels and his team feels that every single year it's a big game against Quip, against West A to end the year.
How does it? Mike made a comment up here about in this conference it always comes down to a big game at the end of the year. How do you feel about that, and how's that for you for this win?
I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be. Our conference is one of the top conferences in 4A, and a lot of good teams in it. And I wouldn't want it any other way to play the biggest games of the year, whenever it is during the season.
Does he feel his resume is good enough to make the playoffs?
Do you feel your resume is good enough to put you into the playoffs with this team right now?
I mean, I hope so. I mean, we're 6-3 right now. We beat Trinity, who is going to be a playoff team. Might win their section. We lost to Mars by 8. I mean, I think our resume is good. I mean, but I don't want to worry about my resume. I want to make sure we have a chance to win next week, so I don't have to worry about it.
There you go.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you very much, Coach. Congratulations, big win. Thank you.
You know what? That's a great point. They beat West A, and they're in.
There's no doubt. But then again, 6-2. If they lose, they're 6-3, and how can you keep them out? They beat Trinity. They beat Central Valley. I mean, this is a good team. And, they had a couple tough losses, but even if you lose to West A, it's possible that how are you going to keep them out at 6-3 is my question. So it's very possible that 3-4 teams come from this conference. A lot of people might not like that, but better conference. And the fact you beat Trinity, and I wasn't thinking about that, that's a big point by Lou Pacero.
Let's find out what's happening with Central Valley and Hopewell. We'll check in with Joe from Boom Pow DIY Solar. Joe?
Hey, thanks, Mike and Mangino. On the start of the fourth quarter, Armstrong throws deep. There was an interference penalty in the end zone with 10:56 in the fourth. Boo-Boo Armstrong, quarterback sneak run from 22 yards out. Kick is good. We got a game here. Central 13, the Mighty Vikings 7. Warriors took over running out the clock with Shear running hard. Hopewell on the move as they're poised for a comeback. On 4th and 4 from Hopewell's 36-yard line, Hopewell goes for it. No good. Warriors take over the Vikings' 36-yard line. The clock is ticking, and Hopewell is stiffening up. With 4:36 in the game, Dominic Pratt kicks a 56-yard field goal, and it was good, but Hopewell had a procedure penalty, and he had to kick it again, 5 yards up, and he nailed it from 51 yards. And that made the score 16-7 with 4:36 left. Central sacks Armstrong, fumble with 3:58 left. Warriors take over at the Hopewell 16. Tick, tick, boom. With 2:03 in the game, Ethan Shear, touchdown run from 4 yards out. Kick is good, 23-7. Central wins tonight at Hopewell. Listen, I'm Boom Pow DIY Solar. I am A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. I am saving homeowners a fortune. Give me a call at 1-844-BOOM-POW. Get your aunt, your grandma, your cousin, your sister. I don't really care. Get their electric bill. I do a 50-50 split. Set me up with an appointment. When I close the deal, we'll split the money 50-50. And once again, this is saving people a lot of money. Once again, the final score 23-7, Central Valley over Hopewell. And back to Mike and Mangino.
Thank you very much. We will have final thoughts from Aliquippa and the big victory. Montour by 2 touchdowns on the Quips on Beaver County Radio.
Are you looking for a cigar, tobacco, vape, and roll your own supply store in Beaver County? Visit Vape and Roll With It at 751 Merchant Street, Ambridge to shop for a variety of the best cigars in the walk-in humidor. They also sell vape juice, disposable vapes, glass, and CBD. You can also view several of their in-store promotions by following Vape and Roll With It on Facebook and Instagram. Visit vapeandrollwithit.com for more information. Don't worry about prices or stress, just roll with it. Open 7 days a week on Merchant Street in Ambridge. That's Vape and Roll With It.
When you talk about community involvement and safety, the name Fry stands at the forefront in Beaver County. Fry Transportation's mission is to continue to raise the bar as the gold standard in their industry by providing the safest, most reliable, and cost-efficient transportation service in Beaver County through their strong relationships with their community's best-in-their-class drivers, equipment, and technology. There's nothing more important than the safety of their students, employees, and community members. Fry Transportation, where the quality of their organization is characterized by the makeup of the individual behind the wheel.
Before and after school care will now be provided at the Beaver County YMCA for students enrolled in the New Brighton and Rochester school districts. Children in this program have the chance to do homework, make friends, and have fun. We're also excited to introduce Preschool Light, designed to help children learn through socialization, art, language development, and much more. For more information, please visit our website, www.beavercountymca.org.
Patriot Home Care is now hiring caregivers. Are you a caring and compassionate individual looking for a reliable income with benefits? Then call Patriot Home Care today. Benefits include health insurance, life insurance, paid vacation after 1 year, and 1.5 times hourly pay for overtime plus holiday hours. Patriot Home Care employees provide personal care, conversation and companionship, medication reminders, light housekeeping and laundry, meal preparation, and errands. Start your career in home care today and call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or apply online at patriothomecare.org.
Has your smile recently been intercepted by a bad cavity, stains, or damage that's been driving you crazy? Don't worry. Dr. Timothy Lip in Lip Dentistry is the Hail Mary your teeth have been needing. Located in Beaver Falls and Robinson Township, Lip Dentistry has been a trusted business for families in the greater Pittsburgh area to touch down at for over 2 decades. Make sure to rush over to lipdentistry.com and register for an appointment today and get 25% off your first cleaning. Don't fumble the opportunity to make Lip Dentistry your office of the future and make an appointment today.
Got kids? Too much to do? No time to cook? Download the McDonald's app today and get dinner delivered straight to your door from DoorDash. McDonald's makes it easy for you and your family. Download the app today and get exclusive deals and rewards. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Hello, this is Alan Bross, General Manager at Moon Township Ford. Just like a good football team is trained to win, our goal is to win you over with our own team of experienced professionals equipped with what it takes to make your dreams of a new car come true. So if you haven't visited us for a while, come over and see what we have to offer. Or visit our exciting selection of cars and trucks online. Find out why people keep running back to Moon Township Ford. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
If the black and gold can get a new quarterback every year, maybe you can switch teams too. This is Coach Andy Dangle from Freedom United Federal Credit Union. I'm looking for new free agents, or should I say, members. Our membership is open to many organizations and groups throughout the county. Join my team at Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Details and applications are available now. Visit Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
What if you could meet the future you? The one with the degree, the dream job, the confidence. This fall at Community College of Beaver County, step up to the mirror and see what's possible. Whether you're fresh out of high school, changing careers, or returning to finish what you started, every class and campus experience brings you closer to who you're meant to be. See your future. Start it here at CCBC. Visit ccbc.edu/fall25.
This football season, don't pass on McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Honest sales and 7 days a week emergency service have made them tops in their game for over 60 years. That's how long families just like yours have been relying on McGee for all their heating and cooling needs. Get ready now for the cooler days ahead and call McGee today at 724-375-7112. Serving the Beaver Valley, including Aliquippa, Monaca, Hopewell, and Center Township. McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Family owned and operated, Main Street, Aliquippa. Good luck to all the teams who visit the Gridiron this season from McGee Heating and Air Conditioning.
J. Young Refuse and Industry is proud to be an integral part of Beaver County for the past 36 years. Featuring a wide range of recycling services for contracted areas, they are sure to help you get the job done. The J. Young Refuse team of professional drivers consistently exceed safety and service throughout the day, while their customer service representatives take professionalism to the next level. J. Young Refuse offers both commercial and residential pickup as well. Call J. Young Refuse at 724-495-6199 today.
The unexpected happens. When it does, you have peace of mind that you can rely on your local insurance agent. As an independent agency, S.E. Snyder and Rochester can represent you to several insurance companies so we can get you the best coverage for the best price. We pride ourselves in customer service and honest sales. You shouldn't feel pressured with an insurance quote, so if you need a quote or have questions about the coverage you need, talk with us until you're satisfied. Call S.E. Snyder Insurance Agency in Rochester today at 724-774-3584.
One of the greatest honors a person can receive is to be gathered with their people at the time of their passing. Even biblical authors, when they wanted to explain what it meant to have lived a great, prosperous, and meaningful life, spoke of the individual as having lived a long time and being gathered with friends and relatives near as they closed out their twilight years. Being gathered together with loved ones is something that the J&J Spratt Funeral Home takes very seriously as well. The comfort both given and received cannot be underestimated. J&J Spratt Funeral Home also knows that the honor shown to a loved one at their time of need in this manner is still the right thing to do today. J&J Spratt Funeral Home has been gathering together with area families for 4 generations and looks forward to honoring future residents deserving of being gathered together with friends and family. Click jjsprattfh.com.
What a game. Aliquippa, Montour, and at the end of the first half, I really thought that Aliquippa was going to be able to keep this a low-scoring game. Their defense was going to rise to the occasion, as they have consistently done all year long. Keep it to about, maybe if they could score 15, 20 points, they were going to win the game. I had no idea. Never did I expect that Montour would make the adjustment that they did and come out and put 34 up in the second half.
You know what? I mean, I'm not surprised Montour won because I know they got good athletes, good staff. After the first half, I thought, well, this team's got a chance to win this. And I just didn't see the points that they were scoring in the second. I did not see that many points by an Aliquippa defense given up. So Aliquippa, just it's odd. I mean, they play so good against Mars and some of these other teams, and then at home to Montour, a team that's fighting for their playoff lives. I don't know whether they didn't take them seriously or what, but the second half was a completely different Montour team. They made the right adjustments, and I think this game completely turned around when they stopped them, and then after they stopped them, they got the ball back, they scored, and then they pinned them deep, and then the block punt for a touchdown. Those 2 plays turned it around, and then after that, Montour was by far the better team. It took the life out of Aliquippa. You don't see that happen to them, but it's happened to them twice this year. Here.
The Electric Garage Doors postgame show. Let's go through scores one final time. Central Valley winners over Hopewell, 23-7. Hopewell, if they have any hopes whatsoever of getting into the postseason, they absolutely must win with North Catholic next week, right?
I think so. But I think so, yeah. Because Avonworth, Beavers, if they tie with Beaver, Beaver's going to have an advantage on them because Beaver beat them.
Right. So then also, how about this one? Beaver Falls, the first loss in conference is to Riverside, 21-18.
And that solidifies Riverside's resume a little bit and probably really hurts New Brighton because one of those two teams was for sure going to be out with New Brighton's loss today. That really hurts them. Even if they win next week, I think that Riverside has a chance now.
Montour now goes to West Allegheny. They just beat up on Blackhawk 40-10. That's going to be an amazing game next week.
It should be. And West A is good. Boy, a lot of rivalries in this section. I love this Parkway section more than anything else, and that's going to be a big game next week as well.
Freedom looks as though their playoff hopes are gone. They lost to Mohawk 29-0.
And Mohawk still has a shot as well. Mohawk or Riverside. One team might get in, one team might not.
Moon Tigers, they upended the Upper St. Clair Panthers 20-13 at home.
And that pretty much means that Moon should be in the playoffs.
Western Beaver 20, New Brighton 14. New Brighton season's done after next week.
Probably, unless something crazy happens. I'd have to look, but Western Beaver will win the section.
And the one team that we were talking before the tonight's game about taking a Beaver County team all the way to Acroshore was a thought, you know what, maybe it's Southside, but Southside ran into Laurel. They lost 45-7.
Interesting, but I know Laurel's good, but man, I didn't think they'd beat them up like that. So that's a big surprise. This one's a little bit of a surprise. That's just that hurts. That hurts Southside some. They won't probably now get a top 2 seed, maybe a 4, maybe a 5. We'll see.
Coming up next, the Falcones Moon Township Ford wrap-up show. Mike Zadian and Ryan Garazunas have that. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll talk to you again next Friday night here on Beaver County Radio.
Thanks for tuning in to 2025 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's game was brought to you by the Lisa and Tank Latham team at eXp Realty, the YMCA, Patriot Home Care, All Access Automotive, Fry Transportation, Vape and Roll With It, Electric Garage Door Sales, Al's Corner, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, McDonald's, Moon Auto, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, CCBC, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, Al's Pizza, Tri-State Sporting Arms, Drug-Free Aliquippa, McGee Heating and Air Conditioning, St. Barnabas, the William Murphy Funeral Home, the Cornerstone of Beaver County, Zookie's Sports Bar, Johnson Heating and Air Conditioning, GNU's Body Works, J. Young Refuse, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home, S.E. Snyder Insurance, D&G Rentals, and Beaver County Radio. 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, 95.7 FM and AM 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.